please grab your daily heart me. This daily heart me up here, and the panel is open. You're more than welcome to come up. Everybody is entitled to their own opinion. Hello, good morning.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, do we need more fathers like Joe Jackson?
Nah, no.
Okay, why?
Uh, I believe that you don't need to abuse your children to achieve those things. So we don't need more fathers that'll abuse their children.
So the only thing y'all focused on is the abuse. Y'all not focused on him, for one, being in the household. Y'all not focused on, two, for them kids respecting him, whether you agree with him using a belt or not. The structure that he had in his household. So y'all ain't focused on none of that. You just focused on the abuse.
Uh, well, I agree with the principles, but I don't agree with the method.
Was your daddy in your household?
No, my dad wasn't.
Do you wish your daddy was in your household? Were you looking
Y-
for your daddy when you were a kid?
Yeah, I was.
Absolutely. You know how many households are like that now? Absent
Yeah, there are a
fathers?
lot.
A bunch. So
Yeah,
when you say Joe Jackson, I just don't zero in on the negative. I look at the positive that came out of it. And I think that's what most people need to do. Stop zeroing in on the negative part. Can we focus on the positive part too?
yeah. So I do from the standpoint of his principles. Yes, I do believe that we do need more fathers like Joe Jackson. However, the method I believe is just more detrimental to the child than you know
Seems
than
like his
positive.
method worked.
You doing it now? And talking.
But
Yeah,
how
but
do all of his children feel about it?
It seems
they,
like
Right.
his method worked at the end of the day. I think
to
kids
what end?
are supposed to have fear in them. Because if you tell your kid to sit down and they know it ain't no consequences, will that kid really sit down and listen to you? Probably not. No.
Yeah,
But
but
sit
you're
tight for me,
yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
Bun. I'll be back.
Okay.
Catherine, good morning.
Good morning.
How you doing?
I'm doing great. I think that he definitely built some strong kids. He was present. He was there. I don't know if it was more. I don't know. I think that the fact that they feared him as adults says a lot. Um, I think that we need more dads like him, just maybe in a more loving way. But I think that he was a good dad. He built a once in a lifetime. There will never be another Jackson 5.
Exactly. Thank you, Catherine. All right, Miss Clapback, how you doing?
Hey, how you doing?
Good morning.
I I mean, I feel like okay, success isn't everything because his kids turned out like they didn't see each other for years, and the family was a mess. So if we just focus on the success, that's the only thing, okay? Because I don't know if you have kids or not, but you I don't would you treat them like that just for success? Because that's the only positive thing that came out is their fame. They're all messed up. They don't like themselves. They all change their image, right?
And you
So
blaming
yeah,
Joe
that's my
Jackson for them
opinion.
changing their image? People do that all the time.
No, we're talking about them though. So why, as a child, what and growing up, why would you want to change your image? I feel like you want to separate yourself from your childhood. Okay, if you have money to do that, then you're gonna do it. But everybody doesn't have money to do that. You want to change. The only way you want to change your image if you don't feel good on the inside. So you want to change yourself on the outside. You're going to hide yourself on the outside to change how you feel on the inside. No other way you can put it.
But I don't think that
No
was
other
Joe
way.
Jackson. That was society, I think.
Listen to what I said. If you don't feel good on the inside, right? Because of how we're gonna say structure, how he ran his family. That comes from your raising. So you don't feel good about how you was raised. That's whatever he did to get them together. You know what I'm saying? So that's not a good feeling on the inside. So when you don't feel good on the inside, you're gonna do anything. You're gonna do drugs. You're gonna change your image. You're gonna try to find love. Feeling good on the inside counts. Okay. So if you're a child and you're raised in a crazy environment, you're gonna try to change that. That's what I'm saying. And that's all I'm saying. Fame isn't everything if you don't feel good about yourself.
I don't know why y'all blaming that on Joe Jackson. People change their image all the time. People are raised in crazy households and they don't do nothing. They don't change their features at all.
Do they got the money?
Some of them do. The Jacksons ain't the only people with money.
I'm not saying that. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying, okay, let's say the separation. They didn't see each other for years. How many was it? 6 of them? So what you think about that?
Ma'am, it's people that don't see each other for years,
But
regardless.
we're talking about this family. Why do you keep
Absolutely.
on?
But okay,
Yeah,
but
so
when you think about it, you can't blame it on Joe Jackson because they didn't want to see each other.
so who you thought it was? I
It was
mean,
them. They were grown. They were grown.
if we're talking about
They
raising a
were
structured family,
grown.
right?
They were
We're talking about
grown.
okay, we know that. We're talking about raising a structured
Do you
family,
see your
right?
siblings in your family all the time?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
And
You're
so
gonna
Most
you
blame
grew
the
up in a good household. You didn't
no,
get
I'm
your
not
ass
saying
toe
that.
up.
No,
You
no,
didn't.
no,
Oh, okay, exactly.
no,
You just proved my point. You just
no.
proved my point.
No, I'm not
It had
saying that.
nothing
But
to do with what's going on in your household.
I okay, okay. I
You
thought we was
just
talking
proved my
about. I
point.
thought I thought we was talking about them.
We are, but then it comes in the
But you
grand
asked me
scheme of
about
things of
me.
everybody. All right, thank
But you
you.
asked me about me. Okay.
Aqua, what's up? How you doing?
Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Happy Saturday.
Hey. You
I
too.
actually love this topic because it's very engaging in so many opposing sides. Um, from my take, I mean, I don't know these people personally. I only know what has been put out there. And based on what I know what's put out there, it was more fear over respect. Yes, Joe had good attributes as a man, but would I say he was an overall good father? Probably not. Because it was ruled by fear. And kids do need some level of fear of their parents. I agree when you said that, but not to be totally afraid, because if you fear your parent or your father, you won't come to them in areas when you really need, because you're afraid of the response. And I know you are promoting how, yes, he was good, he was in the household, but he was not in his side family's household. That other daughter that he had, he didn't live in that household. So Joe isn't the ideal father. I wouldn't say more fathers need to be like that, because kids need to be raised mentally well, emotionally well, financially well. It's not just a one thing, beat your kids and they'll be okay. No, that's not it. Because mental health, a lot of people experience mental health as adults because that part was not focused on as a child. So
Mm-hmm.
things about Joe, yeah, should be displayed. I have a husband. We raise sons and daughters in a big family in a 2-parent home, and I always tell my husband, sometimes we have to adjust the way we discipline our children, because for one, it's not a one way for each child. Every child needs to be handled on its own merits and their own personality. We have one kid that we can yell at and she'll be good for the next 7 months. We have one son, no matter what you do, right now he's in the stage where he's gonna do what he want to do and take the consequences. So my vote, no, we don't need more Joe Jacksons. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Chris, how you doing?
I'm good. How are
Go
you
ahead.
today?
I'm good. Go ahead.
So, as somebody who grew up with a father who was very strict like Joe Jackson, I can very much tell you, fuck no, we do not need anymore. Because if you pay attention to how those children grew up and how they speak about their own childhood, you will never hear any of the Jackson children themselves say Joe was a good father. None of them liked that man. None of them really cared for that man. They only feared that man. Your children were not meant to be here to be feared. Only that is he abused his wife as well, went outside of the home for it's just his presence. These kids have mental issues to this day. And they're almost in their 70s years old, and we're talking about, oh, we need to treat kids like Joe Jackson treated them. We heard from the horse's mouth from these children who went through this experience. They said they would give up all the fame if to not have a father like Joe was. So I don't understand how we can go against people who actually experience the pain and say, oh yeah, well that was good because look, you guys are famous now. They didn't want it. Michael just wanted to be a kid, but he had talent, so it was beat into him. And that's my point. I agree with the woman who spoke before me, and the older lady as well.
So you think Michael Jackson's talent was beat into him?
No, I believe that because he had talent, his father beat him to perform in it. Just because you have talent doesn't mean you have to exercise it. He didn't need to beat Michael because Michael wouldn't do the dance moves that he wanted him to do. He didn't need to scold them and make them feel like they were nothing without his guidance. He didn't need to talk about their appearance. He didn't need to scold them and just talk down to them at all times just so he could keep a clutch on them. Janet Jackson wanted to be a lawyer. She said on live TV that she wanted to be a lawyer, and her father told her no. That's not okay. It's not okay to live vicariously through your children, through abuse, making them go through hell, and then say, well, look how you guys turned out. They turned out fucked up. All of them. Not one of them came out unscathed. Not one. And that's what I'm saying.
All right. Thank you. How do you say your name? Fing? What's up?
It's called feng shui. Peace to the panel. Peace to the guys and goddesses on the panel and in the chat. As a man who was raised without a father, I had a strong grandmother. I didn't have a mother either. Yeah, those type of men was definitely necessary because I had uncles, and where my grandmother didn't discipline me, my uncle stepped in. And discipline is necessary. We might not like the way he disciplined them or whatever may be the case, but if it wasn't no structure, we would have had another red rummer, would have had another thief, would have probably had another we ain't gonna talk about all them different things that you could be.
Oh, we can go down. We could have had a lot of absent fathers. We could have had a lot of baby daddies. We could have had a lot of bank robbers. We could have had more all types of shit. I see where you're going with this.
Yeah. So to say it like, you know what I'm saying, he's just a bad man, we gotta also understand Michael was an actual man. He stood on business. Mike was fighting for his rights. He was fighting for us as a people. So to say that man, Joe, didn't do nothing or he didn't have some type of, I don't know what to call it, but he had some type of reflect on Michael in the sense of being a man. And I think we missed that because if you pay attention in the movie, Mike wasn't no gangbanger for real, but when he got around all them gangbangers, they understood what he was standing for, and them people aligned with him. That's because Joe Jackson was in his ear.
He definitely stood on business when he was talking about MTV. No black artist was on MTV, and what did he tell that white man? Do better. Work harder.
Shout out to Joe, man.
Shout out to Joe Jackson. I ain't gonna just slander him. I'm not just gonna slander the man.
And that's not to agree with all the different stories of he may have touched somebody or abused. I'm not agreeing with that. I'm just saying in the disciplinary actions of what you're supposed to imprint onto your son as a man, he did that. And we got a beautiful being in Michael Jackson. The world loves him. And if you don't know the real story of what Michael was going through to get his rights for his music, to get all his ownership, that's what it takes. It takes a man to be in your ear telling you what to do. Shout out to Joe Jackson, man.
Absolutely. I totally agree. Michael stood on business. Yes, he was soft spoken, but he didn't play no fucking games. He got that from Joe Jackson. He knew exactly what he wanted to do and he did it. All right. I'm guess hey Beauty. Is that Florida Beauty?
Yes, ma'am.
Go ahead.
Okay, so, I think that Joe Jackson, yes, he was in the household. We do need fathers, black fathers inside the household. I do think that being strict and having discipline in the household is important. I seen the movie. I seen some other like little documentaries about Michael Jackson outside of the movie, and I seen the American Dream, the Jackson 5 American Dream one, the old one. I saw that one too. Based on all of the based on all of that, and for somebody, it's like background noise. That person.
Okay. I'm a muter.
Okay. So based on that, those different things that I saw, I can't sit here with fidelity and say that I think that we need more fathers like him. I think that there are good things, like good traits that he had, but if I would had to say overall, I would probably say no, just because of the abuse, the physical abuse. And I saw a video of someone that's in the family saying that he was touching the girls, and I don't know if that's true. I mean, that's
right.
Just what
so why are we repeating it? If we don't know it's true,
Right.
why are we repeating it?
So
Would you want somebody just going around saying something like that about you if they didn't know if it was true or not? They just repeating it?
I mean, the point of, even outside of that, we'll leave that out. Looking at how he was coercive, manipulative towards Michael, even as an adult, this man, he was like using the family to prevent Michael from doing manipulative towards Michael, even as an adult. This man, he was like the things that he wanted to do, and then also talking about him, calling him big nose. I mean, that's why Michael Jackson ended up getting the nose job. He literally hated this man. Like he had, in that book, in the movie, he named Captain Hook Joseph because he hated him. He had a snake and he called the snake Joseph. Like he did not like him, and I feel like he carried that on, all throughout his life. To say, I don't know if I would want to raise my kids in that way at the detriment of them feeling like they hate me all their life. Like, I don't know. I understand like how it's important that we have discipline, but I don't think beating your children to that point is a good thing. No, there's other ways that you can do that. I feel like that's kind of a slavery mindset, but.
What, getting your ass toe up?
I don't think that whooping or beating your kids for a good reason. Beating the kid because they messed up when they were dancing is like abuse. That's abuse.
We're gonna.
I mean, if that's the case, we gotta consider running laps as abuse.
Right. And if we're gonna hold Joe Jackson to that standard, why are we not holding Katherine Jackson to the same?
No, she's wrong too because she sat there, so she's complicit as well. Like she should have said something.
But y'all deal with the same things every day. You go to work. If
I
you
got
don't do what the
physical
boss
abuse
tell you
as
to
well.
do,
I was
you gonna
smoked. My
get abused
stepfather
in
was in the
some
military.
format.
What was you saying?
No, I was saying we do the same thing. You're gonna go to work and you're gonna listen to your boss. And if you don't listen, you're gonna deal with some form of discipline.
You're gonna get wrote up. You're gonna have to sign some shit. You might go to HR. Yeah, it's consequences.
And
You
if you
have to
go to
listen
jail,
to somebody.
if you go to
There's a
jail
line.
and
There's
you
a thin
don't
line
listen,
between abuse
you
and
might get your
discipline.
hands put on you.
I
Right.
agree to that. I believe in ass whoopings though. Now
Well,
beating somebody, no. Getting your ass
Can
toe
I say
up,
this?
yeah.
Well,
I
can I
got a
add
lot
this?
of them, man, and I'm grateful.
I used to get my ass toe up. No
You
lie.
do.
My mama didn't play no games. We couldn't say what? We couldn't say what if your mama
I couldn't
calling
call
you.
my mama no
What?
liar.
What the fuck? You getting your ass toe up. We didn't even say that type of
But
shit.
I have a
Yeah, I
You
question.
can't
But
gotta
say you
have
what?
some
lying.
kind of
I have a
structure.
But what about him calling him Big Nose and doing all
That
But we
those
was
don't have
things?
terrible. That was
we
terrible. We are not agreeing with the abuse, y'all. We're not saying he should have been verbally abusive. We're not saying he should have whooped them because they misstepped. I'm saying I don't think Joe Jackson got any credit for being there with his boys. And it's a lot of boys that need their fathers in their life.
I
that's
Period.
needed mine.
that's
I'm
fair.
All
thankful for my
men,
I
all
uncles.
needed
boys
mine
I'm
need
too.
their
thankful for my
father in their
uncles.
life. The
I,
hell?
I needed I needed mine too, but I think that the reason why you're seeing everybody align with not having Joe is because there was such an imbalance of him being their father versus being like their slave master, their manager. He didn't even allow them to call him father.
Yeah, he
They
was
had to call
calling me
him
Joseph.
Joseph. They had to
Hmm.
call him Joseph, even though they desired for him. And I think that's where you're going to see more pushback because Joe Jackson got the results that he wanted, and when it as it pertains to his goal was to prepare them for an industry, and that's where his mind was the entire time. I think
His
somewhere
goal
along the
was
way,
to be successful. His goal was to
yeah,
keep his
yes,
boys off that street, shooting and killing folks, and let's make this money. Be somebody. Do something with yourself. That was his goal. And I'm all
right,
for that. All right,
right,
let's move on,
but here's
y'all.
the thing. All right,
Okay, well, you give me a second. Carla, how you doing?
Hey, how are y'all, everyone?
Hello.
All right. I would say that having a father is a good thing, and being disciplined when you do wrong is a good thing. But you have to look at it in order to be successful in this world. You have to go to the extreme and you have to go above and beyond. The military breaks you and then rebuilds you. The NBA breaks you and then rebuilds you. It's other actors that are successful that was broken and then rebuilt. When you go into a certain Pacific of job title. Like y'all are saying, everybody requires you to go outside your comfort level. When you want to be successful in this world, you have to go way out of your comfort level. So doing things that other people that's not in the entertainment industry will look at as wrong, but you got to look at it from the NBA to the NFL to the, even when you go to the military, you have people in the military that you got your sergeants manhandling you, talking to you any kind of way. You got your job. It's life. You just have to go through it. Only the strong survive. That's how I feel about it.
I
They
like that,
wouldn't.
Carla. Only the strong survive is right. These folks is weak as hell these days. You
I mean,
can't say nothing to them. They crumble like a cookie.
and look how the military degrade you and do you. Even when you go to college and you want to be a part of a sorority, they break you really bad and rebuild you. So to focus on one man's method, and then you got to look at in that time and era, there was not a black group that were being established, and we all know that sometimes our race have to work 100 times harder than other races to be successful in the world. So no missing steps. And if he would allow them to miss steps and be all off course and just drag and just say, okay, take what you got to say, they would not have been as successful as they were. They would not have been. Michael, after he grew up, like everybody said, Michael became highly successful, and Michael you couldn't be in his dance group misstepping. You couldn't be in his dance group like his background dancers. All that you had to be on point, and I think that he learned that from his father. You have to require excellence from a person. You can't go on stage sloppy in any kind of way.
You can't allow people to show up to rehearsal whenever they want to. You're going to have to put your foot down. Can't let these folks just do whatever the hell they want to. And that is what's wrong with society today. It is out of control. These folks is killing each other left and right, acting a fool. These young men don't got no daddy in the household. It's real bad out here. Real bad. And I know y'all see it. So y'all just, Joe Jackson. Well, they need Joe Jackson. They need Joe Jackson. We'll have a better world today if they had Joe Jackson.
And then the thing is, another thing, he whooped him with a belt. He didn't beat him with his hand. He didn't fist punch him or nothing like that. He whooped him with a belt.
Belt to ass.
Yeah, I mean, I used to get a whooping with a belt. In school, I used to get paddling. They used to paddle us with a board. A stick. Stick to ass.
That's what gave him back. That's what gave him that backbone to step out on his own and be able to talk amongst men. Yeah, he's soft spoken, but he had a voice. He still had a backbone to tell another man, like, nah, I ain't going for that, bro. I ain't in
Can I
it.
respond to
The
what she was
problem
saying?
is a lot of these dudes be raised by their mama and be tender and soft and don't know how to tell another dude, bro. I'm cool on that, bro. I don't want to join your game. I'm able to stand on my own team. Dudes don't be having no backbone because they don't be having no father.
You know what? Just recently, I'm in Austin, Texas, born and raised. Just recently, we had a shooting at Sam's Barbecue, East Austin. Young men, black, shooting, going crazy. It was kids down there. It was older people down there. They didn't give no fucks. Pulled them guns out, shooting at each other. 8 people got injured. And then this past Tuesday, Cinco de Mayo, had another shooting, young and black. And an innocent bystander lost his life. Now everybody going crazy back and forth with each other on Facebook. Clone Joe Jackson, please. How do we clone him? Bring him back.
All the schools.
They need to be doing something. They need to be in some kind of activities doing something. Because all they want to do is go to the club and take each other out. Bring Joe Jackson back. Clone him. All right, Carla, let me go up here to Trucker. Hey, Trucker, how you doing?
What's going on, good people?
What's up?
Yeah, there's a lot to unpack here. There's a lot of confusion. One of the things to answer real quick, absolutely not. And for several reasons. He's not even on the list because there are several examples, past and present, that have kids and 3/4 generations that are still alive. Y'all keep this in mind. They are still alive and still raising successful kids. He's not on that list. You got, so if you want to go to the celebrity realm, you got Samuel Jackson. He got successful kids and he didn't whoop him in submission. You got Denzel Washington, but
I don't
you have
know
so
who
many.
Samuel Jackson kids are. I don't know who Denzel Washington kids are. So continue.
But
They had money before that, family. We talking about rags to riches.
Listen to what I'm saying. Hear me out. He's not even on the list because we have examples that you would never know about. But y'all, it's the misconception that somehow that this works.
Okay, but we talking about people that we know about. How are you comparing some fools that we don't know to people we do know? Like, come on, what are you talking about?
Let me wrap this up. I'm gonna take this home. I'm about to hit this on home. Y'all are coming from the fact that this somehow it worked. It did not work. This is not a success story. They was not successful because they unalive. And it goes into the line with this old ancient text and this old ancient scroll. It says, what profits a man to gain the whole world and lose his soul? So y'all acting like it worked. It did not work because Michael Jackson was unalive at 50. You got people that was alive
unalive
back.
himself. He was unalived.
But my point, you missing my point. My point is, if Joe Jackson, what y'all saying was true, then they would still be here. My point is, we got people that's still here from that time.
We don't know that. You don't know that.
Are you listening to the message, brother?
But listen to what I'm saying. I got people. I know people.
Are you listening to the message what Michael was saying?
They not letting me.
Did you listen to the message that Joe Jackson was giving to Michael?
What do you mean that they not successful? What are you talking about?
They're not here. What I'm saying is,
listen. For you to sit up here and say this is not a success story, you lost.
It's not a success story.
This is definitely a success story.
Y'all looking at money and success. That's
we're not looking at money, bro. We're looking at talent.
So you mean, so
I'm
let me get
looking
this
at
straight. So do y'all think?
character.
Let me
I'm
ask y'all
looking
this,
at
this
character,
question.
sir.
Let me ask you this question. Do you think Michael Jackson could sing with or without Joe?
Oh my God. He could sing without Joe. Let's
Right.
continue.
So okay. So with that point being made, Joe, what Joe was doing was unnecessary. If you're gonna be great, you're gonna be great without abuse. Y'all
False.
acting like
False.
okay, okay.
False. You know
So
how many talented people it is
So
out
you
here that didn't
saying,
have a daddy to push
so
him?
you
I'm listening.
What?
I'm
so
listening.
you saying Joe Jackson didn't provide no discipline, no
Say that again.
structure.
I'm not. What I'm
You
talking about
saying Joe
excessive.
Jackson didn't provide,
It's you can't put him on the list as a great dad when we already have
but you
great
got to be like
example.
that to become successful.
Nobody said
Sir,
great daddy. Where is you getting great daddy
you
from?
said what's that title say? We need
We
more
need
fathers
more
like him.
fathers.
No,
We
we
need
don't.
more fathers like Joe Jackson. Do you see
We already
greats
have.
anywhere?
We already have fathers way
Oh
better
my
than Joe.
God.
We don't need Joe.
Yeah, we
Think
do.
about it.
Yeah,
So
we
if that's
do.
the case,
I'm
so let me
sorry.
let me
I'm
ask you this
sorry.
question.
We do. We
So
do. These
so
kids
Joe
is out of control. We do. There's
so
no
Joe
structure in these households no more. We do.
May
so
I
Joe
interject?
Jackson is the example. So by y'all standard and logic, Joe Jackson is the standard for fathers.
At this point, the way it's going, absolutely. Yes. Yes.
No.
These
Then
folks are
y'all
out of control.
y'all skipping so many things. Y'all skipping the fact that they was
And you
Jehovah
know what?
Witnesses.
You're skipping to the only negative part of the Jackson's life. Can we go to the
They,
positive side of it too? You're
what
skipping some stuff.
you know what's positive?
Go
You know
ahead.
what's positive?
What's positive?
We are live. I was born. I don't know how old y'all are, but I'm 45. I was around during that time,
I'm
so I can
40.
really speak to this. Okay, so you weren't born yet because he it was like 1984. But anyway, during that time, they were heavily. There was a whole different time. So y'all comparing those times to 2026. That's impossible because you have to look at all the events led up to where we are today. They ain't got nothing to do with that type of discipline. So y'all
So
off,
so
and
let
then
me
y'all
say this, truck. So this was back in what, 70s, 80s, right?
correct.
Okay.
Yes.
That's back when slavery was still kind of thick, right?
Mm,
Segregation.
Okay, all that. Joe Jackson had to do what he had to do in order for them boys to be successful. He didn't play no games with nobody. Black people, white people, nobody. Because of the times that they were in, he had to be the way that, well, he had to beat them. No. But I'm saying the
Thank
man
you.
that he was made them boys great.
Let me
But
help
think
the
about this.
conversation
One more
out.
point. Last
Hold
point I'm gonna
on.
make. All the people from that area, Gary, Indiana, the Jehovah Witnesses. Joe was not the only one that had that disciplined mindset. Why nobody else was successful or make it out or made it remotely close? If that's the case.
A lot of them did. Don King was successful
So
back in
so
the day.
Let's see.
Don
Can I
King,
so so
answer
all of
so
them.
Trucker?
It was
Y'all,
a
so
bunch
according
of them.
this is
Can
opinion.
I
There's no
answer
right or
Trucker?
wrong.
so
Exactly.
I can ask Trucker, you know anything about Indiana?
You cutting out.
Know anything
We
about
can't.
Gary, Indiana? I'm a trucker.
Yeah.
I
Do
know
you
about the
understand
hood.
that
Why are
I'm a
y'all
there's
physics
going
gang
major.
violence up
on?
there?
My
Why are
family,
you guys
Yes.
No,
going
I'm
on?
not
is
asking you like
Go
I'm not,
ahead.
Indiana.
sir. It's
My
not a
siblings,
condescending
my
question, sir.
siblings
It's a real question. I'm
on the
asking you,
same.
do you
Gary
understand that
today
there's
compared to Gary
gang
back then
violence
is
out there?
much different. Yeah, it's bad today.
Now, do
Okay,
you
land your
think
plane. Then I gotta go to
he
Reyes.
would be able to?
How do you block me from your FYP? Kimberly, I got you, baby. Let me get you blocked right now. I don't give two fucks. You think I'm gonna miss you being in here? Block. There you go. Fuck. How did I
I think
block
he
you from my
muted
FYP?
himself.
It's stupid. Go
I
ahead.
think that guy muted himself.
Bye, Kimberly.
He did. There you go.
Well, the people in the comments saying we need more essaying fathers like Joe. Where is there any evidence that that man essayed his children besides rumors?
Ignore that.
They gonna
You
stop.
know,
Okay, go ahead, Reyes. I don't know
what
what
I
happened.
wanted to say is that I think we got plenty of Joes. I'd like to say we do have plenty of Joes. I mean, I consider myself a Joe myself. I just have one child. But man, there wouldn't be no Joe without Catherine, man. She let that man cheat in peace for years. You know, she held the family down, and she let him discipline. She stayed in, stayed in there,
Rumors,
hung in there.
rumors, rumors.
You know, oh, which part?
Wait, hold on. Let him land his plane, then you can go,
No, which
prayer.
part am I rumoring though?
Just
I'd
go,
like to
just
know.
go. Continue.
Well, I just think Miss Catherine did her part, man. Like, there's plenty of traditional fathers like that today. I don't think we varied fewer. I don't think the apples falling far from the trees as far as it comes from John. I mean, look at Deion Sanders. Look at some of these Peyton Manning. Well, you guys want to talk about the majority of our black brothers and sisters, but you know, there's plenty of Joes. I've worked corrections, I've worked juvenile detention, I was in the Air Force. I worked out in Dallas County, Arizona State, and I've met plenty of outstanding black gentlemen, strict and disciplined and very respectful and positive values and hard standards. And it's the women that end up softening the blow on the kids, I have to admit. And I digress.
All right, thank you. Real quick, y'all, if you new here, please hit the follow button. If you don't want to be here, please block me now. I'm telling y'all that don't hurt my feelings. If you want to hit the door, please go. I mean, it's just that simple. Ain't nobody making y'all stay in here. Everybody is entitled to their own opinion. Y'all acting like Joe Jackson. You want to tell me how to feel and think about something? The hell? What's up, prayer? Go ahead.
Well, from the last guy's comment, he's a corrections officer, but he was a corrections officer. And he's talking about all the great men that he has been around when he lived his life off the misery and the dysfunction of the black community. What great men did you meet in a prison, sir?
I'm talking about the men I work next to. And actually, there's a lot of outstanding men in prison. Don't get it
Hold
twisted,
on,
because
hold on, hold
you can
on.
go to
Stay
prison
on
too, brother.
point. You were surrounded by more prisoners than you were these, quote, great men. Just give me two names. What great men? A Martin Luther King?
Just outstanding gentlemen, just such as myself. Listen,
Name
I'm
one,
not talking.
sir.
I'm
Just
not
name
gonna throw
one.
gentlemen's names out there, okay?
Well, give him a
I
first
mean,
name then, because
this
you're
is
lying.
ridiculous. I'm relying that I've worked next to some outstanding great men. You don't have to be a millionaire or broadcast on TV to be an outstanding gentleman,
Sir, you
okay?
made your life off of other people's misery and you're okay with it. You haven't done anything, and you're talking about all these great men.
Okay,
You
but
were
people,
Well, then
actually,
you can
hold on,
say the
hold
they
on,
same.
put
You
hold
can say
on.
the
themselves in
I'll
same thing
prison.
land,
about
I'll
Martin Luther
Scored a
land.
King.
few cards on his
Were
deck.
you in prison with Jesus Christ or not?
This guy's lost a few screws.
Sir, you not making
Oh, he's a
sense. You
Bible
ain't gotta answer
thumper.
that, Reyes. You ain't gotta answer that. He trying to patronize you, family. That man ain't making no sense by what he's saying.
I'm not
You
patronizing
sitting here
anything, and you
holding
look
title.
like you need to
You're
go
holding
back
a
to
title.
grade school.
You said Martin Luther King like he ain't lead us into some damn bullshit here.
Sir, you're on this phone because of Martin Luther King and a lot of other people. I just
Man,
asked
I ain't
that
on this phone because of no damn
former
Martin Luther King.
corrections
What type of
officer
dumb
to
shit is
This
name
that?
me
guy
one
is
great
out
man
of
that he has been around.
Boy, man, shut your goof ass up. Ain't
You
nobody
this
on
shut
guy
this
out
your
of
And
phone
what
here.
looking
that
for
man
goofy ass
Martin Luther
up and
King.
said,
go
what
back
that
to
man
school.
said.
He's short a few
I
cards
did
on his
not
Go
deck.
call
back
on
to
you.
school. One great man, sir.
Jesus Christ. Happy?
No, that he was around as a corrections officer.
He's around Jesus Christ every day.
The man I work next to, man. Come on
Shut
now.
up, man. All right, I'm done. I didn't mean to
Thank
do
you,
So
that,
what
but
thank
was
I
you.
just
your
want
what
to.
was your
Yo,
point, Prayer?
this a
Where were you
My
dumbass
going
point
with
question.
this?
is, he is in
This a
the
dumbass.
cult. He is in the cistern of the failure
Uh huh.
of having a black
Yeah.
father in the
Yeah.
house,
He's
and he's
saying that
sitting
there's
up
more
here.
guys in prison
Oh,
than
you're
there are
gonna keep
corrections
talking
officers.
over me. You're gonna keep talking.
Yeah, go ahead,
He
sir. I
said he
wish you
was
just
around some outstanding men, and I just want one name.
Oh, so you didn't like that he said that.
Well, I want to
Yeah,
know what
it's
he was
kind of
around. I
weird.
think he, ma'am, I am saying that I think he's lying and posturing. I remember the name of my
Hey,
math
so you
teacher,
can go
and he
arrest the
was a
person?
great man.
Okay, so
What
what
are
do you
you?
think about Joe Jackson, Prayer? Let's get back on topic.
Oh, I agree with you. The proof is in the pudding. The man was hard, but Michael Jackson was a billionaire when he left this earth, or a millionaire, give or take $500 million. I think he was right, but
And
I
the
don't know if
best
he
that
did
ever
all those
was.
things. But I'm saying,
He didn't
my
enjoy it
point
though.
was
He
in
didn't enjoy
answering
that
this
money.
guy. Come on, dude. You don't even have. You wish you had that much money.
He absolutely did enjoy his money.
Guess what though? But
But it
you
ain't even
missing
about
something.
the money, bro. It ain't about money, bro. It ain't about
Yes, it
money.
is. Proof is in
It's
the
I don't know
about
pudding.
why y'all
character.
keep saying stuff ain't about money. Are y'all okay?
Well, when we think about
Let me
Michael
ask
Jackson,
you.
we don't think about his money. We think about his
I
Exactly.
don't think
talent.
about his
Oh,
We
money
yes,
need
we
the
either,
type
do.
of
but
Joe.
it
We need
is
those type of
about
Joe
money.
Jacksons
Yeah, we
for
Let
do.
me
character.
let me ask you a question. Let me
Like
ask you a
we gotta
question.
We
stop
No.
need
acting like
those
we
type
don't
of
care
Joe
about money.
Jacksons
Money
for
is
You
nothing.
care
character.
about
Stop.
money. Let me ask a question. If I told y'all I give y'all $500 million, but you're only gonna live for 5 more years, would you take that
Oh
deal?
Lord, y'all got some wild questions going
Oh
on.
boy.
And let's stick to the Joe. I mean, come on.
Absolutely,
Let's
because you
stick
don't
to
know if you're going to
Joe.
live till tomorrow and be broke. So I would take the 500
Yeah,
million knowing that I
I
had
think
5 more
I think
years
I
and I
would
would
take
live
it
my
too.
best 5 years ever.
You
Share it
act
with my
like you
family.
got it to spend. You just wishing, chick.
I would be
You
throwing
wish.
this ass in a circle every motherfucking day.
You probably have been throwing your ass in a
And there go
circle.
the
I show
problem.
have.
However, however,
All right, let's move on, y'all. Miss Rob, what's up?
Hey, so this is my take with Joe. Joe used the opportunity to get his family out of poverty. He saw talent in his kids. That's what he did. Did he discipline the wrong way? Absolutely. But he did have he had the mindset to get his family to a better place. It just happened the way that it happened. It was wrong, and he took everything that for me, I feel like what he wanted to see in himself, he just saw Michael be a person that just shined, and that's it. But he was wrong. Catherine came in and Catherine just tried to balance everything with, even when it was wrong, even when she should have bounced years ago, she sacrificed. She was a woman that sacrificed for her children. But Joe just was a man that pretty much he saw the fame, he saw that he got his kids out of whatever situation they were in with poverty, and then he just became a asshole after that. But yeah, there still need to be black fathers in the households that's making sure their kids are doing what they're doing, because that's why you got these young NYs right now, YNs right now running around. I'm not saying beat, because I feel like you don't need to beat your child to get respect from them, but there definitely should be some discipline going on, and that's what's not happening right now. So when you
Mrs.
talk
R,
about Joe, that's what Joe did. And back to Reyes, because that's what he was saying for the gentleman that felt like that man didn't say nothing about he didn't have to name anyone. What he was saying was that there are a lot of black fathers that he has come across that knew how to be leaders in their household. That's what that man was saying. He
yeah,
didn't say
I
nothing
Can
think
I
he's
about.
ask a
taking
real
that
quick question?
outstanding word too
Thank you,
far.
None of
sis.
Taking
Joe
away from
Appreciate
it.
that,
Jackson's
sis. Thank you.
children, none
No
of Joe
problem.
Jackson's children have a criminal record. None
What's
of
your
his
point,
children.
though?
So
What's your point, though?
what did he do
That's
wrong?
his point. That Joe Jackson raised some good ass kids, whether y'all agree on
Yeah,
how
we're
he
No,
on Joe
raised them or
Jackson's
I
side,
not.
I
brother.
agree with that part.
He
I
raised
heard
some
him say that part.
outstanding black men. Let's do this race thing, because these black men are not in the household anymore. These black men are nowhere to be found, and these black boys are out of control.
Yeah, they
Okay.
are absolutely out of control. So I don't agree when I say I don't. I agree with Joe for doing
Hold
what he
on,
did
I
as
gotta
far as
help somebody
discipline.
else. Hold on, y'all. You
Go
with
ahead.
this Hello Kitty damn picture. If you repeat yourself one more time, you are gone. You're blocked. Stop being a loser. We see what you saying. You don't gotta repeat it. Stop.
Mrs. R,
Damn.
but
See,
don't you think
they need
that
Joe Jackson on their ass.
Yeah. See,
Mrs. R, don't you think that all the fathers were
I'll
disciplining their
put Joe
kids the
Jackson
same
on
way,
all their
equally?
asses. We'll get some act right around here.
Mrs. R?
but that's what
Ma'am,
I'm
have you been to
saying.
county jail?
We
That's
need
a
better
county jail
character.
term.
It ain't
Some
about
act
the
right.
You
money,
must be busy.
Need some act right. Cause
Amen.
damn.
but that's what I'm
I'm not
saying.
trying to
We need
silence
people
you.
with
All I'm
better
saying is
character.
stop spamming. Do you understand? I'm not trying to silence nobody. Everybody is entitled to how they feel.
right.
But stop spamming. Damn. All right. Legacy, what's up?
I think Catherine, letting Joe do. what he did. I'll be honest with you guys. I forced my
My
son to do
bad.
sports, and I forced him into school
Hold
too.
on, Ray
Like
Ray. Go ahead,
you,
Legacy.
Man, I don't know why you asked that dude that question because he acting like he only met people in prison. You got life outside of your job. That was a weird question. But I agree with you at the end of the day that, man, every society that ever existed that had good, strong men had tough men. Or god dang process the boys went through to become men. All this stuff that they be trying to do now, like softening the blow when y'all want to just be my child's best friend. That doesn't create strong boys. It destroys society. Mama, move out the way sometimes. Move out the way and let men do what men got to do. And then also, the crazy thing is that y'all half of the time y'all benefit from it at the same time, because every single child he had is still doing well. That's alive. And you talking about they died, they unalive, man. Most of them kids still living, doing fine, and they kids doing fine. So y'all ain't gotta like the method all the time. The method ain't gotta feel good all the time. I'm not here to be your friend all the time. I'm here to make sure that I'm responsible for you being a responsible adult rather than a damn degenerate.
Yeah, I actually think that Michael Jackson's brothers were envious of that man's talent. I remember seeing Michael Jackson when I was 6 years old, and the way they looked at this man's energy, Michael Jackson was going on all up into the 2000s. I think those boys aren't great because they had to dull themselves under his shine because that man was
that's brother
talented.
competitiveness, though. Brothers are going to be
Nah,
competitive
then how
amongst
come
each
they
other,
aren't more
anyways.
successful if they had the same talent?
He outworked
That
them,
man
man.
I think they
outshined
were
his
just
brother.
tired. I think they was tired. I think
It
they
seems
they
like they
had
were
been going
chasing
through the same
ladies
thing
too and stuff.
Mike was going through, and they just got older and was tired of it, and it was able to walk
Yeah,
away.
Yeah, and
Mike was
They
Michael was
didn't
trying
disciplined.
walk
to
Because
away.
focus.
Mike
He
did
took
the
it to
They
same
did
thing.
not
another
Mike
level.
walk
walked away
away.
from him.
You know what? Joe
Mike
Jackson
walked
got
away.
his kids out. Joe Jackson got his kids out of the hood,
Yeah,
y'all.
yeah,
Why are
he
we
did.
overlooking that? He has built generational wealth, which a lot of black people are lacking, huh? Generational wealth for his kids, his
Yeah,
grandkids, and they kids. That is
Talk
important.
to him. Talk
What
to
and
is
I
him.
think
wrong
it
with
comes.
y'all?
I think it comes down to
Y'all is
letting a
too
man cheat
soft.
in
Y'all too
peace.
soft, and that's
You gotta
why
let a
we
man cheat
But
in
going
when
peace,
y'all
down
man.
the drain. Black people probably
when
won't even
y'all
be on
listen to the
planet Earth
message
in
of the
another 10
music,
years. I
when
ain't
you listen
lying.
to the message through the music, when you listen to the message through the music, what Michael was telling you, you can understand the character that Joe Jackson instilled into him. He got into the industry and realized everything his daddy was saying was correct, and the type of person that
Yup.
he had to be was correct.
And
Generational
That's
wealth
a
is
I,
success
important, y'all.
story.
my
Hey,
son,
I
he
got my
finds
kids.
himself being
Hey,
successful with some experience, some of the
Hey, could I say something
with
real
some of the
quick?
stuff I gave him
Hold
too,
on,
man.
prayer. Go ahead, Ray.
That man did not create generational wealth. What he created was forever wealth.
Hell
Michael
yeah,
Jackson's
It's forever.
bibliography
That's facts.
is worth billions.
royalty.
the family
He
don't
did
own that
create
money. Y'all
forever
know that the
wealth.
family don't own that, right? Y'all do know the family does not own that,
It
right?
doesn't matter who owns it, he created it.
Man, everybody keep worried about money and worried about, bruh. As long as we using these people money, we stuck in this system. So it ain't nobody gonna ever get rich and be successful and make it out this shit.
I
So
think
in the
that
in the in the
they
But the
are
hope,
totality,
planning a
in a total,
comeback.
we gotta listen to the message and understand what the fuck you gotta do and be accountable as a person, bro.
but
That's
host,
what the
And
Joe
host.
you
Jackson was telling
daddies,
that
you
man, bro.
daddies out there, I'm gonna need y'all active and attentive to these kids because they is out of
Exactly.
control.
Hey,
But
You
Miss
daddies
Host,
hey,
out
Miss
there.
Host, Miss
amen.
Host,
Thank
I
you for
got my
Miss
saying that
kids.
Host.
because
And the mamas
Who
too.
Hostess,
Hold
calling
thank
on,
me
you
And
let
the
Miss
for
me let
saying
mamas
me
Host?
that
too. We
because
got to
if
do
I
our
Miss
had said
part.
Host.
it,
We got to do our part and
Hostess,
support
thank you for
them.
Oh,
They
saying
need
that.
to see
absolutely
that it's a
not.
village. They don't need to see
But
just
Thank you
one
for
person
saying
shouldn't
that.
have to wear
but
that
Miss
on their
Host,
shoulders. It's a
listen,
village.
Hold
It's
on.
a
listen,
Go
village.
Miss
ahead,
Host,
trucker.
Oh
Go
boy,
ahead,
now
I
we need
got
trucker.
a village. We don't need a
Miss Host,
dad. We need a village, like the
Period.
white
Miss
Go ahead,
police.
trucker.
Miss Host, I got my kids out the hood. So you saying Joe got it? I did the same thing Joe did. I got my kids out the
We
hood.
don't know your
Got my
kids. We don't know your kids. I don't know
no,
why
You
you
a
but
keep doing
success
but
that.
the
story.
I
concept.
don't
It's
Stop
know
about
why
the
looking
you
down on
keep
concept.
doing
yourself,
that.
The
bro.
concept. The
So
Stop
concept.
what's
It's
looking
your
about the
down on
name?
concept.
yourself, bro. You
Who
sitting
are
here,
you?
you sitting here looking at another
Y'all not
man and
even
talking
letting me.
about he not a success because you don't feel like you a success. Nigga, you a success story.
That's what I'm saying.
So
This is my point.
so why did you say they not a
Okay
success
then.
story?
Hold yourself
Because
accountable, nigga.
listen to what y'all not listening to me. What I'm
Go ahead.
saying.
Let's listen, y'all. Go ahead.
Success is holistic, mind, body, and spirit. Y'all have to understand. You have to have all of them, not just one part. You got to be
Sir,
successful. But
sir,
let me
success
land.
you
Let me
can touch.
land,
Let
please.
him land,
Success
y'all.
you can handle.
Let him finish.
What I'm trying to say is, I got my kids. I started from zero.
He
I
want to talk
sold
about
my
himself
PlayStation.
so bad. Go ahead.
But no, what I'm saying is the concept of the same thing with Joe getting his kids out of Gary, Indiana. I can relate to that story, but I did discipline my kids, but I don't have to discipline them anymore. I don't have to beat them all the way up to they 19, 20, 30 years old. So my point is the concept is that you have examples that got as men. I'm one of them. You just said we need more men. We need more. You have one on the panel right now. I'm a man that's married for 18 years, got my kids out the hood, and I'm a success story. And I did it without the abuse like Joe Jackson. So my point is, we don't need more Joes because we.
Bro, you missing the
Imagine if
point.
you beat your kids. You
Sir,
could make
Did
the
you
same
beat
point
your?
you
Did
said.
you
sir,
whoop your
where are
son,
your
bro? When
receipts?
your
You're
son
missing
Where
got
the
are
out
your
there,
point,
did you
bro.
receipts,
whoop
Like
him,
sir?
bro?
Shit.
this
When your
issue with you,
son got out
this issue
there,
with you,
did
brother.
you whoop him?
You missing the point. It ain't even whether you whooped them, didn't whoop them. We ain't saying you that men ain't gonna get their sons or they whoever out the hood. He was training his sons for a greatness yours will never reach.
And this ain't
And,
about
and
tooting
it's
your own
not
horn either, bro.
that's not a slight, that's not a negative. That's man to man. We know the world is competitive. We know
That
that
is a lie, sir.
no,
Well, then
stop.
how do you
I'll let
Let me
you
tell
know
you,
finish. I'll let
he's
you
not
finish.
able
sir.
to do
I'll
the
let
same
you finish,
thing?
bro. I'll let you finish, bro. Let me finish. You ain't gonna get no, they not gonna be no multi-billionaires, multi-millionaires, and you can say that it needs to be holistic. That's subjective. Matter of fact, if we match culture for culture, some of these savages is beating our ass. Fuck that shit. When it come down to how you feel as though they should feel inside and internally. And that community shit, culture for culture, we fucking losing to motherfuckers who raise their kids with a whole lot more goddamn standards than waiting on a goddamn grandma to fix everything for them. So all that bullshit that y'all be talking about, when you match thing for thing, we fucking losing. We fucking losing at the end of the day. So miss me
Sir.
with the fact that
Can
you
I say
raised
something?
them some to you.
Now let me
That's
respond to him
cool.
first. Let me
That's
respond to
cool
him
for you.
first. I'm gonna be quick.
I'm about to let you respond. That's cool for you. That's cool for you. But we talking about how to make greatness that lasts beyond whether they just get out of a bad circumstance or not.
May I
Okay, sir.
speak?
Period.
You
May
you
I
miss. Hold
speak?
on. Let me say something real quick.
Let
I gotta address
Tucker
him.
respond. Go ahead.
Sir, you miss what I say about holistic. When I talk about holistic, it means if I have $500 million and I'm in a nut house, how can I spend this money if my mental is not right? So therefore, my mind, body, and soul has to be in line as far as the money to be considered success. If I only got money but I have a broken home, that is not success, sir. So what I'm trying to tell you is that even though Michael Jackson Joe had beat him into a billionaire, it's still not considered success if he's not whole in his spirit, sir. So that's what I'm trying to tell you, bro.
How did you know he
Allegedly.
wasn't whole in his spirit?
Allegedly. May I say something now?
The
Michael
stuff
was
that
happy. He
exactly
had
like the stuff
bubbles.
that
He
we
had giraffes. He was happy.
I'm
What
sorry.
are
Can
you
I
like the
say
talking
stuff
about?
something?
What
yeah,
took him
exactly.
down? What took him downhill
Exactly.
is people want to falsely accuse him of bullshit.
Can I say something?
Exactly. Like yeah, the stuff
But
that you saying, like, because you keep missing that what you
Maurice
saying
sit
is
up there and make a
subjective, bro.
prediction or prophecy over truckers' well-being? He don't even know trucker, I don't think.
I didn't make
So
a
you
over
gonna sit
his
up there
well
and tell
being.
him what he can't do?
I didn't say what he can't do. You
You
don't fucking
sound like a
listen. Shut
rat.
your ass up and listen before so you can
You shut
understand what the
your
fuck is
ass
being
up.
said.
Prayer, pray.
So you can understand what the fuck is being said. I didn't say he wasn't gonna
I
fucking make it. I didn't
understand
say none of
Can I?
that
English.
shit. I didn't
Can I?
say nothing about him
Maurice.
specifically. I didn't say nothing about him specifically. I said
Yeah, you
very
did.
clearly. Shut up, nigga, so you
You
can hear what
told
the fuck
him
I
what he
said.
can't
You
do.
heard wrong. So let me say what the fuck I said. God damn it.
Can I
What
say
I said was
Don't use
he
God's name in vain.
I'll use God's name however the fuck I want to, nigga. You ain't my goddamn daddy. And you damn sure ain't my God.
Obviously, you need a
I'ma
Joe
speak to my
Jackson
God
in
how
your
I
life.
choose to. I'm gonna speak to God how I choose to.
Let's
Shut the fuck
conjure
up.
up
Damn, if
another
y'all
Joe
got
Jackson.
legacy turned
Shut
up, that's
the
a
fuck up,
problem.
bro.
Let
God
him
damn.
finish. Let him land his plane,
Shut the
y'all.
fuck up, bro.
Okay.
Anyway,
You're
didn't
not gonna
say a
let him finish.
motherfucking
Let
thing
him
about
finish.
how he would be.
I said very clearly, that his children will not become the multi-billionaires that your ass was just fucking toting. You were just talking about multi-billions.
Beyonce
Then
has
Trucker,
become a multi-billionaire with other abuse from her father. So what are you talking about?
I didn't say that there was no other examples either. So I'm gonna tell you what I'm talking about. Y'all never gonna learn what a
And we
motherfucker talking
talking
about.
about these men. I don't know why
Y'all will never
Because
learn
Beyonce
what a
has been able
motherfucker
to
talking
reach pop
about.
stardom
we're
without abuse.
Y'all will
talking
never
about
learn what a
men. I'm
motherfucker
coming up
talking
there to
about.
you.
Y'all will never learn what a motherfucker talk about because y'all fucking jump in. You got the goddamn emotional control of a goddamn squirrel with
All right,
rabies.
let's
Yo,
talk about
shut the
Bruno
fuck
Mars
up and
then.
let people finish. Impulse control, work on that. Any motherfucking way. What I was saying to Trucker, not Pablo, is that, bro, you what you saying is subjective. You don't know whether the man was happy. You don't know whether the man was holistic. You don't know whether any of the other children that came from him were holistic. What you do know is that their families are doing good, their children are doing good. All of them are continuing to do good. So the fruit that is bare by his tree does not go with what you're saying. So forget what you
Do you
feel.
realize?
What
Did you
you feel
realize
is
that Michael?
what you feel is irrelevant. What the fruit bears is relevant.
You just keep
All
going on
right,
about
let's.
bullshit.
All right, y'all, real quick, Pablo. I'm just gonna drop your ass because you can't even control your damn mouth. I'll be up there in a minute.
Because
I
y'all talking
just
about bullshit. There is no
well, you
excuse
listen.
for child
Nobody's
abuse.
making you stay. Nobody's making your dog ass stay up here.
There's no
Nobody's
excuse for
making you
child
stay in
abuse.
this live. Nobody. Right. Okay, stop. Um, look, and you still here. You can leave, Pablo.
Because I'm
Anyway,
trying to figure out what you.
Lena, shut up, bro. Go
What is the
ahead,
excuse for
Lena.
child abuse?
See, these are the weak beta men that need Joe Jackson in their life.
You fucking
This,
dork. Like, what are you, a beta man?
yeah, you are a
You are a
beta.
dork.
You a beta.
You are a dork.
Why are you here? Why are you here?
Because
Go
why are you
away.
defending child abuse?
Get lost. Get lost. Go ahead, Lena.
Good morning, everybody.
I don't get it. They stay their asses here, but don't like what we talking about. It's crazy.
Because why are you defending child abuse?
Nobody's defending child abuse. You see how beta you are? Now you're saying we defending child abuse. It's
Are you not?
crazy.
Are you saying it? You're
Go ahead, Lena. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So we can only go by based off of the information we have, the movie, the interviews, and things like that. I just feel like, Joe Jackson, amongst other black men, don't get the full credit that they deserve. Not excusing the fact that he might have been abusive. We're not excusing that. Maybe he took his discipline a little bit too far. We're not excusing that either. However, based off of the movie, because we can only go by the information we have, right? Based off of the movie,
the
he
movie
was
missed
driving him
key
from.
points in Michael's life.
Pablo, shut the fuck up.
There's multiple male pop
You
stars who
see,
made it
that's
where
what
they
I'm
are without
talking
child
about.
abuse. Because you're
Beta.
stupid.
Beta.
You're stupid. You literally can't. You
Beta.
don't have a brain.
Listen.
You
I
can't
would
think.
never come in your
There's
live and talk to
multiple.
you.
There's
Why are you
multiple
coming in here
male
to
pop
talk? Can
stars
you
who got
allow
where they
this
are without
lady?
child
Can
abuse.
you allow this lady to
There's
finish what
multiple
she's
male pop
saying?
stars who got what they are without
Can
child
you
abuse.
allow this lady to finish what she wants to say?
She's defending child abuse too. It's
Can
stupid.
you allow this lady? This is the beta bullshit I'm talking about. You act like a girl.
You're a grown ass woman saying beta though.
You're a beta. You're blocked.
Why
Fuck
you
off.
still
I
up here
don't
on
get
her
it.
panel talking though?
It makes no sense. I'm so sorry, Lena. Go ahead.
Based off of the movie, he was driving them from state to state in bad weather. He was making them rehearsal when the mama didn't want them to rehearsal. And we don't know what kind of kid Michael Jackson was. Michael Jackson could have been a troublemaker kid. Michael Jackson could have been all types of things to engage in that, to not engage, but to just push that abuse from his father. In the movie, you seen him say, "Okay, I don't want a rehearsal. I don't want to do this." But he had to rehearsal. He had to rehearsal to get ready for the shows that his father booked. His father booked the shows. would they be where they at today if his father didn't do all those things? I don't think so. I just think that give credit where credit is due. Say that he was a good father from birth up until whatever age he started developing Michael Jackson 5, and then say, okay, my father was this, my father was that. Don't down a man when he was a good man or a good father at some point. Somebody, and I hear this a lot from young people when they talk about their mothers and their fathers. Somebody had to change your pamper. Somebody had to feed you. Somebody had to clothe you. You couldn't do that at birth. You couldn't do that as an infant. So give your parents the credit that they deserve, and then say, well, when I turned 11, they start turning and they start doing this and they start doing that. I just feel like black men don't get the credit that they deserve. And in every movie that comes out about Michael Jackson, he always downing his father. It's always being a narrator of downing his father about something. And I'm sure his father was a loving father when he came out the womb. He wasn't beating him at an infant. He wasn't abusing him as an infant. So I'm sure he was a good father. I just feel like Joe Jackson should have gotten more credit.
Can I say something
I
now?
agree.
Is it
He should
okay?
have got a little more credit. He should have got a little more. We not agreeing with the beating part of it. Absolutely not. Can we focus on some of the positive shit? Look at Michael Jackson. Look at the Jackson 5. Look at the family. Like,
Can,
can we? Can we?
Let me
And
just
that's what
say,
I
let
was
me
gonna
just
say,
say
can
this
I
Nikki.
one
can I
more
say?
Hold
thing. Let
on.
me just
Hold
say
on.
this one more thing. We also need to blame the mama. If he was that abusive, why did she leave? I understand she was a Jehovah Witness. I understand all that other stuff. But if he was that bad, why didn't you show your kids that a man doesn't behave like this? A man doesn't put his hands on women or on kids or whatever the case may be. And before he died, he did give credit to his father and said that his father, he understood why his father did what he did because he seen something in him.
Without Joe
Host, may I?
Jackson, we wouldn't have a Michael Jackson. So I'm so thankful
I
for Joe Jackson. I'm not gonna lie
That's
because
a
I
Can I just say fact.
love,
this, Miss D?
I love Michael Jackson. Okay,
Michael
all right.
Jackson was talented already.
I just wanted
Hold on. Is y'all cool? Hold on. Real quick, hit the follow button if you new. Y'all, I need 3 more galaxies if you like to support the live. Go ahead, Nay.
I had
Ari, you don't have no self-control either. Why is it the men? Somebody answer me. Do y'all
because I've
need
been
Joe
waiting to
Jackson
talk
in
and
y'all
y'all keep.
life? Huh?
Nah,
Do
I
you
had a
you
real
need
daddy
Joe?
who didn't beat
Let
me.
me
I
just
had a
say this
real
before you
daddy.
go, Ari. Hold on.
It
I
makes no
hear you.
sense. Go ahead, Nay.
Let me just say this.
Have
Now,
the patience.
we grew up in Chicago, Illinois, right down the street from Gary, Indiana. My mom and them, they knew the Jacksons. Like the way they grew up, that's the way my grandparents, and they wasn't even, successful like that. It's, all of this beating and this and this and this. No, we got our ass whooped, and we are a product of our environment. If we got whooped by the whole block. When you did something wrong, the whole block whooped you. Then so your parents and your parents whooped you. So do I agree with with Joe Jackson and his methods? I mean, it maybe was a little harsh for one to agree with however he did it, but it worked. You ain't seen none of them wilding out. They was all in school, and if that's the case, then now that they're older, I mean, you can get therapy about what it is, but don't discredit who your father was to you and why you are who you are. And that's with anything in your life. Okay, so you had some issues with your parents, but look at the fact that who you are now is because they did what they did. And then take accountability for some of the shit that you did. You know damn well you weren't supposed to be coming in the house after dark. You know you're supposed to be in the house before the damn street lights come on. That's how we was brought up. This new age shit right now, I wish my child would buck up at me. I'm gonna whoop your ass until the street lights come on. And then you can go ahead and call the police if you want to. And they can take your ass with you. And that's the problem nowadays. All of this protective this. And I am not saying that some of these parents do not be out of hand with these kids. But I got a problem with the ones that don't get out of hand with the ones that need to be out of hand with. Just like that little boy in Chicago. Brother, you stepped up to the wrong kid. He was a straight A kid. I'm talking about straight A. His mama told him, go to the car. He went to the car, got a gun. You punched his mama in the face and he shot him. That's not a YN. That's a boy who knew how to protect what he knew was right to do. The YN was the one that punched that mama in the face in front of her son. That's the one who need to be abused or whatever the case you call it. What these kids got going on now is because y'all are afraid to punch your kids in the face when they need it. Who the hell you think you talking to?
We're not saying punch kids in the face, y'all.
You know what I'm saying, Dee.
No, but they'll take it that way and try. Yeah.
My bad. But what I'm saying is you have some of these kids that have no respect for person. None. Like, I remember a time when you see an elderly person and you say, excuse me, no ma'am, no sir.
Oh, shit. They don't say that no more.
Not damn time.
Say what?
Can I say something? Can I say something?
Hold on.
Not now. And I'm like I'm saying, I'm not agreeing. I'm agreeing to you know how your success story with anything you do in life, it lies with your parents. What you do after you leave them doors, that's on you. Whether you get therapy for it or not, that's on you. Life goes on. Your parents did what they had to do to make you who you are.
Thank you, Nay. All right, y'all. I need one more galaxy. One more galaxy. We got 258 people in here. Welcome in. Please hit that follow button. We do go over hot topics every day. What's up, Ari?
All right, I have a few points. Whether Michael was abused or wasn't abused, at the end of the day, these kids on other interviews with Diane Sawyer and other things had came out and said that their father abused them, that they went through tough times with their father. At a certain age, they fired him from being their manager. They fired him, and Michael barred him access from Neverland. So are we being realistic? So there was a problem in his childhood with this man. Nobody bars their father from their house. He did. They fired him from the Jackson 5's manager because of his abuse and his tactics. We can't. Yeah, he raised them, but was it self-interest? Was it more him getting he couldn't get his career going, so he'd do his kids and make them have a career? So at the end of the day, Joe forced them, but they wanted to be kids. They wanted their life. And I think we glaze over that, right or wrong. You don't have to, it don't take a tyrant to be a father, because I'm a father of two boys that I didn't have to beat damn near down or in submission to do the right thing. I don't understand. I don't get that. I'm not gonna glorify no man that beats their children into doing something or have an idea that they had and put in them. I'm not. That's not cool. That's not a black man. That's not a father. That's a tyrant. I'm done.
All right.
You grew up in a different time,
chest.
family. You grew up in a different time.
True.
Go ahead. What's up?
I grew up in 1973. I grew up in the 70s.
What's
I
up,
was born in
love?
the 70s.
I said that. I
What
said
up?
that
What
wrong.
up?
I said that wrong. I meant to say you raising your kids in a different time.
You know, I came up here to get after Pablo, little sweet ass, but he got on out of here. But I'll go ahead and settle for Ari. So first off, you talking about them kids wanted to be kids. In the movie, if you watch the movie, Joe Jackson said, do y'all want to work in the steel mill for the rest of y'all lives? The answer was no. So instead of going out and being a kid, we gonna work on this band. We gonna work on being the Jackson 5, and we gonna get our family out of this situation that we're currently in. And then, not only that, Michael Jackson did have talent, but without the structure and without the discipline of Joe Jackson, he wouldn't have became the greatest of all time. See, that's what y'all miss.
Ari, he let you talk, Ari.
I let you finish, homie. Now let me finish. So that's what y'all missing, man.
My
a lot of people have talent. It's a lot of people in the hood that have talent right now, but they didn't have the structure. They didn't have a Joe Jackson in their life, so that talent went to waste. So when you talking about Joe Jackson, you gotta give the man credit for putting his family on a path to succeed and making sure that they reached higher levels and wanted more out of their life. It's not all about letting your kid go out and jump rope all the damn time. Sometimes You need to have a vision. You need to have structure. You need to have goals that you want to achieve and accomplish and push your kids towards those goals. And that's the bottom line. Now I land my plane.
Thank you, Lo. I felt that.
Can I
Like,
rebuttal?
Lo,
In the
I
Can
felt
movie,
that. What you
can
just
can
said.
can I? Can I rebuttal that?
Go
I
ahead.
want to rebuttal that.
Go.
Is it the kid's job to get them out of the hood, or is that
No,
daddy's job?
I
One more
agree with what
person
you said,
interrupt.
Is
Lo.
it
Y'all
is
act
it?
like y'all is something wrong with y'all. You
you
just
don't
can't shut
understand.
up till it's your turn.
What do you
Go.
mean? Is it
I
the
thought
kid?
I was
Listen,
rebutting what he
listen,
was
listen,
saying.
listen.
No, I wasn't talking to you. I heard somebody say no. I don't know who it was though.
It was Joe Jackson's
Oh no,
responsibility to put food on the table, right? But he wanted more for his kids. So
then he should have did
he
more.
made them rehearsal. He made them get better. He seen some talent that they had. He put some instruments in their hand and he pushed them. He pushed them to get out of that.
So I'm a
So
so
what's
I'm
your
a pimp
question?
out my kids. I'm a pimp out my kids to
Come
get
on,
How the
us
hell
out
is
man.
when
that
We
I
go.
as a
pimping
man,
out? How is
and
that
it's my
pimping out when he's
responsibility.
built generational wealth for all of his kids
My
and his kids' kids?
Pimping out is crazy,
responsibility to
Ari.
provide.
No, I don't think he
Nah,
was
you're
doing
not
that. I
going.
think
It's,
he was literally
You know
that's
he
what, bro?
You're
used
You
what
didn't
he
went too
had.
far. I should have known when I
not.
seen the
You're not.
leopard in your outfit that you got on. I should have known what route you
Legacy.
was
In the
Don't
going
you
down.
think
movie,
pimping out is a little much?
man,
Like
Yeah, I
It's
was gonna
pimping
way
say,
out
too
is
yeah,
much.
crazy.
it's wild. And I'm like,
in
yo,
the
you
movie,
not,
if
you're not
in
gonna
the
pimp out your
movie, if
kids,
they
bro.
would have went by what the mother wanted them to do, they would have never made it.
Exactly.
They
You're
would
Exactly.
have
not
never
gonna pimp
made
out your
it.
kids,
at the
Ari.
but
You're not
at
gonna pimp. No, you're not gonna pimp out your kids, bro. What you gonna
He
do
basically,
is
how I see it, he
what you
made
gonna
ends
do
meet.
is
Too
what
many
you gonna
times.
do is
In
yeah.
the movie,
You're not gonna pimp out your kids. You just gonna make a bunch of kids that's talented but go nowhere. It is what it is. Choose your route.
no
All right.
at the end of the
Well,
day,
hold
it's
on,
my
hold on.
job to get my family.
I gotta get other people. I gotta get other people.
For Ari.
All right, Lo. I gotta get other people in the conversation. You guys, this is a damn good conversation. Can y'all support lives when there is great conversation going on? That's all I'm asking. Can y'all grab a daily Harmony? It's 1 penny. Can y'all help me fill my live goal? It's the donuts, and I need one more galaxy up there. Let's move on to Cece. How you doing, Cece?
Hey, how you doing?
Hey.
So, I agree a lot with what Lena said. He definitely maybe probably took it too far with his kids. He probably shouldn't have did some things that he did, but I really do think he was onto something. And it's not just Joe, it was fathers back in that time. If you look at like the kids today versus the kids back in the 50s and 60s, they were afraid to fail. They were afraid to do wrong. They were afraid of the cops. When there was cops, they would run. Nowadays, you got these kids telling the cops, "Oh, call my mama. I'm not afraid. Call my dad." What? The first person I remember when I got in trouble with the cops when I was at a party, I was like, call my aunt. Because my aunt, my aunt was like my best friend, and she would always hide everything from my mom and dad. But my mom and dad, they were like the strict ones that wanted to make sure I wouldn't get into trouble. And that's the type of people you want to be around. Now, behind every bad kid is a bad parent. So when you see something wrong with the kid, you want to blame the parent too, because that parent raised them to be like that, okay? And there's a lot of people saying like that them kids had to be in therapy or whatever, but I'd rather be in therapy than be in jail. I don't really care. I mean, go ahead, put me in therapy.
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest, I didn't get beat too many times. I got the belt, I think, like 4 or 5 times. But my dad, he had that tone of voice to where like he would threaten me, but like it was to the point where I knew I didn't want to do bad. I didn't want to get beat, so I didn't do it because it made me feel like, oh, he's definitely gonna beat me. So I made sure I didn't do wrong growing up. You know what I mean?
And I guess that's what I was trying to say. I think I just got a little a little passionate with it, but yeah, I do agree.
Can we say ass whoop?
Ass whooping is different from a beat, y'all.
And that's what I was trying to
Based
say.
off the movie,
Ass
based off the
whooping.
movie, based off the movie, can we say if Joe Jackson wasn't there, would they be who they are today?
But
Because
No.
can I say something? No, not
the
at
mother
all.
wasn't structured. The mother wanted them to play. The mother wanted them to go outside. The mother didn't want them to rehearsal that much. So if it wasn't for him, they wouldn't be here.
They would
what
just
they
be
are
a bunch
today.
of Jackson 5 deadbeat
Exactly.
daddies having a bunch of kids. That's, I mean,
And
what do
but
y'all
you got to
want?
think about it. Back in
You
the
got to
day,
think all these kids
Jermaine is still
exist
on that
Hold
though.
on,
mission.
y'all. I
Those
got to get
kids
up here to
never
80. What's up, 80?
Hey girl, Jermaine is still on that mission, by the way. He's just not a deadbeat because he's rich, but yeah. But no, I want to say like two things can be true, and I just want to bring some duality to the panel because what I'm hearing is that everybody's like, well, he wouldn't be who he is today, y'all. Let's like nobody eat me up for this, but like let's call a spade a spade. We are only romanticizing abusive behavior in this particular situation because it produced one of the greatest pop
Absolutely.
stars of all time.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely
if
not.
your
Pick it up.
neighbor,
Nobody
hold on,
said
wait, y'all, let
nothing
me cook
about
real
that
Y'all
quick.
got
man.
to let her finish.
Let me cook. Let me cook real quick. Let me cook real quick. Just follow me. If your neighbor was beating the brakes off of kids next door to play a guitar or to play drums, you all would have an issue with that. Probably call 12 or probably have something to say about it. Now, granted, he did produce one of the greatest music groups of all time, which followed through with some of the greatest artists of all time. Understandable. That is cool. But at the end of the day, besides him being Michael Jackson, he still was a person. He still was a child, and he still deserved duality. Yeah, he did need to rehearse. And it's no different. I also don't like that people are also weaponizing, like, Joe was also a person that was also abused by his father. Like, I think people don't think about Joe Jackson's story too. He basically just carried on the behavior. You see what I'm saying? So
Of abuse.
at the end of the day, at the end and the beginning of the day, both parents should have played a part. They should have been able to rehearse and they should have been able to play. They should have been able to do hobbies and they should have been able to do that. It's no different, you all, than somebody grooming their kids for like football, basketball, soccer, putting their kids into extracurricular activities young to spark an interest, which in turn will ultimately basically help you get a return on investment in your child, because that's what it is. When you have your children, every parent hopes that their child will be better than them, and every parent hopes that their child will be successful enough one day that they can also take care of you in your old age, right? That's something that we all know. You take care of your child as they're growing, and as you're diminishing as a person, you go back to a baby, they take care of you, right? Yeah. So that's basically what happened here. But also I want to add too that it is absolutely not your children's responsibility to up your life. You can implement and put things in place to try to make sure that they do come out successful, but I don't think that at any point in time him basically dragging them kids and beating them with stuff and extension cords and all the excessive things that he did, it messed him up. And it's cool to be like, well, we got Michael Jackson and I love Michael Jackson, but how selfish is that? That man, even though he made the greatest music of all time and he's the biggest pop star of all time and he's the king of pop and the American legend that he is, it does not take away from the fact that he was severely traumatized. All of them were. They were odd because of that. He was basically, his childhood was basically stolen, and he had arrested development.
Land your plane, girl.
What'd you say?
Land your plane.
Dang, hold on. I'm wrapping it up. I'm putting a bow on it now. So he had arrested development. He didn't even operate like a regular adult because he never got to do that. And you all are sitting here saying, well, I like his music, so I guess the sacrificial lifestyle that he went through is justified. And I also think it's weird that we basically compare how successful a child came out and how much legacy they made for the family and how much money they made to the family, as it relates to how healthy and healed they are as a person. And I think that's really like a big thing in the black community. Like, we'll be like, oh, she's having another baby. Oh, well, she
Okay,
got
land
enough
your
money to
plane,
take
because
care of
this is
them.
what y'all
Well,
don't
what about the
understand.
kids?
You can't have it all. You have to sacrifice something if you plan to be great. You can't have it all. You can't rehearse
So
and then
Why
go
is he
play
yelling?
and then go play and then go
He's
rehearse. You
passionate.
gotta sacrifice something if you plan to be great in this life. And a lot of people don't get that, and that's why they don't reach the next level. You can't have it all.
And
Damn.
at some point, as an adult, you have to take control of your own life. If he had problems, like
He
y'all said,
did. He fired Joe.
he should have went to see a therapist. He should have went to go get help. You can't keep blaming your parents.
Yeah,
You
and I
45
don't agree with
years
your
old still blaming
point
your
of view
parents.
too. That they should be grateful that he put food on the table. That's the parents' responsibility.
Can
Y'all
I?
parents be wanting
No, it's
credit for
not.
some
Why
stuff
y'all
y'all
keep
should have
saying
done.
that? A parent can be a deadbeat parent. A parent don't
Yeah,
have
and
to put food
that's
on the
wrong.
table.
You make the
That's not
decision to have a
that's
child. It's your responsibility to
just
take care of
because you
that child.
have kids
You
don't
don't
mean
get
you
an
have to
award
take
for
care
that.
of them.
You don't get an award for that. Nobody cares.
You
Whoop de
should
But
though.
it's
But
a
you
doo.
got
lot.
to look
Can
at
I
the
just
parenting
can I
You
just
system
say
should
this?
get an
Can
nowadays.
I?
The
award
parenting system
for the
nowadays is not
sacrifices you
working. We
made.
have to fix something. The parenting
Y'all
system
want
has totally
justification for
failed
being
us.
slack.
You got to look at these
Yeah,
kids nowadays, though. There's something needs to change, okay? If you look at the kids back in the days versus now, there was something.
Yes.
Why do you think crime has increased? Why do you think these kids are failing in school and
crime has
dropping
increased
out?
because of poverty and lack of access. It has nothing to do with
There's always
parents.
been
You can have
But
the
you got
poverty.
to
best
think
parents in
about
the
it. Listen.
world. You can have the best parents in the world. They can send you to Ivy League college. You go there, you meet somebody else. Parents are not the only people that. How much influence did you get from outside of your home? Let's not act like your parents are the only people that contribute to who you are
They
as a
are the
person.
main reason. They are the
How
main.
are
The
they the
parents,
main reason? You spend 8 hours a day
because
at
they
a
raise
school
you.
with
So
other
that
people.
contradict everything you just said about Joe Jackson then.
No, it
Listen
does
to what
not.
you no, yes it does.
No,
Let
no,
me
no.
Yes,
talk.
it does.
Let me
But I was
talk.
trying to.
You
I'm sorry, Miss
just
B.
said all that you said about Joe Jackson. Now you're arguing.
What did I
It
say?
doesn't.
What was my point? Like, help me understand. What was my point? What did I say? I'm responding to what she said.
Okay,
She
but
said the parents are the problem
I'm
because of how
responding
kids
to
are bad.
what you just said. You
Okay,
just
so tell
blamed
me what
Joe
I said.
Jackson. If you cut me off again, I'm gonna drop you. Like, are we gonna
You
have a
can drop me, girl.
conversation?
It's a panel. What the fuck is you talking about? Bye, bitch. Fuck you.
Disrespectful. Just
So you
disrespectful.
can't
And
disagree
that's
with
why I
nobody
said
on
what I
here.
said about these kids. These kids. Now, right there, like, what type of? Now we're having a conversation.
Right.
This is a whole adult conversation
We're
about an
talking.
adult talking.
I'm just trying to talk and you wouldn't let me talk. So now
And
you
that's what I
mad.
mean by
And
back
we sat
then.
here and listened to you ramble on and on and on and on. As soon as I want to say something, you pissed off. She need Joe Jackson as her daddy.
And you know why I said what I said. That's not abuse. If we were to sit here and talk like that and we interrupt, what is your mom
Why
gonna
I gotta
do?
be a bitch though? Like what?
And exactly. Like, we wasn't even taught to use words like that. So I'm not saying that Joe was wrong. I'm not saying Joe was right. But back then, things were a lot different than they are now. Like,
we
back
can't even
then,
have a conversation. We can't even agree to disagree
I
without
can't.
somebody getting mad and in their feelings. Bye, bitch. What?
and it's the younger generation that gets so hyped up on things that, and I'm just gonna say this, on things that they don't know. This day and age, you can't fathom what abuse really
You know,
looks like.
this
I
panel
can't.
has always been agree to disagree. Everybody is entitled to their own opinion,
Yeah.
right? If we sat here and listened to you talk, now I'm trying to talk. Can I interject? Is there something wrong with that? But I gotta get called a bitch is insane behavior to me.
She talking in
Oh,
circles. Her dumb ass don't even know what she's saying. She talking about Joe Jackson, but then she says, "Well, other people have influence over you as well." So which
I
one is it?
Which one is
I
it? That's
Like,
I
all.
keep
also
your ass talk.
I can't
That's
bring it up
crazy.
right. I can't bring it up right now. But in Latoya's manuscripts, it's alleged sexual abuse in her book. You might want to read that one too.
All right, thank you, Ari. Well, that's all I was gonna say. She was saying Joe Jackson is Joe Jackson at Joe, and then she spun it and said, "Well, it's not all on the parent. You got to deal with people outside your house." Okay, MJ, what's up?
Somebody just said in the comments, Joe was good and bad. I agree. He was good and bad. This is how back then, the finances was not there. He made do with what he had, and his kids was what he had.
But if Latoya's allegations is merit based, then is he good?
Man,
Oh
we don't know.
Lord.
I ain't
So,
never heard of not no.
MJ,
I ain't heard
That's
nothing
what's
about
up,
no
alleged.
sexual
MJ?
abuse. None of
That's
that.
alleged. We can,
Alleged.
and I'm not, like I said, I'm not saying, like I said, we can all.
Come on, MJ.
Anyway, we need more fathers like Joe Jackson. Given what Mike has said about Joe in interviews, I really, really do think that as much as Joe played a role in why they succeeded, he definitely failed his kids in a lot of ways. I mean, he would constantly cheat on Catherine, and I remember Michael talking about how Joe would beat Mike up until he puked, and saying other things like, I literally did surgeries on my face because I looked like Joe and I didn't want him on my face. So I really hesitate on saying that Joe did an exact good thing.
And that's not alleged. Mike
In
said that.
regards, in regards to MJ. I mean, raising
Yes.
MJ. I'm sorry, but if someone tells me I get surgeries on my face so I won't look like my parent, that's a red flag. Like, that's an indication that something bad has really happened, because no loving kid would ever say that about a parental figure.
Y'all,
When they
can
really
we
cared for
get 100K on the taps, please? All us tapping the screen together. Can we hit 100K? Please, it's free. For the ones that don't support lives, it's free to tap the screen.
And as far as like the story itself, a lot of the family members did have a hand in producing the movie, so I don't necessarily think they were exaggerating. They were trying to be as honest as possible.
Okay, MJ. It sounds like you want to read a nighttime story to some kids so they can go to sleep. Thank you.
No, I'm just a
All
kind
right.
person and
Yeah,
just
you
very
are.
empathetic.
What's up, Faith?
So I will say that I agree and disagree with a lot of points. I think we are stuck on the fact, well, I'm not going to speak for everyone, but I think we cling to or like the fact that his father pulled the greatness up out of him. Now, I wonder if any of that would have been different because Michael Jackson was who he was from the God-given talents he had. So can we say that if Joe Jackson was to parent anybody else outside of his talented kids, that the outcome would have been the same? I don't know. And I want to hit the points that there was a little bit of slave mentality brought up in a parenting back then. The whole beating your kids because they didn't do something right or you're not doing enough. You know, I watched a movie and I will say one scene that stuck with me is when I think Michael talked back or he didn't do something right. He didn't do good enough. And he was walking into the room and you saw he had to pick the belt that he was going to get beat with. And I feel like a lot of people who maybe grew up in that time had that same experience. You had to go pick the switch you was going to get beat with. You was having to go outside and go pick off the tree branch or whatever the case may be, go get the extension cord or whatever. A lot of that is hooked to slave mentality and, masters beating their slaves because they're not good enough. I don't think that should have been carried over into the parenting. And I don't believe that's a good way to raise a kid. But he did hit some good points. He did tell you, nothing was going to be given. You have to be greater than the next person, especially as a Black person. You have to work harder. You have to be the best. Even sometimes being the best is not good enough. So you have to be excellent at all times. So I feel like tough love in that general sense, that did do some good, but what good is any of that if you come out a traumatized kid, a kid with, all these different issues, and you're changing your face and you having all of this anxiety? What good is any of that? I feel like that's where duality comes in. I mean, maybe the fathers have to give the tough love and they have to be that tough parent, and then the mother comes in and, they're the ones who telling the kids that, you are good the way that you are, you are perfect the way that you are, and giving that softness. And I saw that kind of duality in the movie, but I don't feel like the mom stood up enough for her child. And I think she even said that in the movie. So, I mean, just because Joe Jackson did bad things, I don't think he's a bad person. I just think he parented the only way that he knew how to. And maybe in his own eyes, he felt as if he was loving his children in that way by, giving them all that he had,
All right, Faithful, land your plane.
And yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, that's all I have to say.
Thank you.
Okay,
All
so
right,
let me
y'all,
hop in here real.
let's get the taps up to 100K. I'm going to start clicking on y'all bubbles. If I see you don't have a daily heart me, you don't support lives. So you can at least tap the screen. If I see you not tapping the screen, I'm just going to get you out of here. I know you don't care, and I don't either. Okay? What's up, Lo? What was you about to say?
Yeah, man. So I just want to.
We losing you. You have to come back. You cutting
That's
in
what
and
we're
out.
talking about.
You cutting in and out, Lo, real bad. What's up, Atlanta?
What's up? What's up? Hey, I, I think two things can be true at one time. I mean, there's definitely something to be said about parents encouraging their children, pushing them to get the best out of them. But at some point, abuse is abuse. I mean, those kids, I mean, none of them have turned out okay. I mean, they all have some quirks about them, some issues. Latoya's almost insane. Michael's dead. I mean, we can't say that that is the blueprint that you want to take to raise healthy, intact children. I mean, we have other examples of stars, of people who have made it through parents being strict. Look at the Williams sisters, Serena and Venus. They they were pushed, but they still love their dad. They still cherish their dad. They're confident in their space. They're not walking around as weirdos. I mean,
Well,
with
Serena
all due
didn't change
respect.
her whole look.
Well, I mean, but she's still her. She's not suffering from, it's her choices that she's made.
Exactly.
Change your look if you want to. But what I'm saying is that she's not dealing with the mental issues that were clearly with Michael. I mean, we love his talent. We love everything about him in that respect. But this was a troubled individual who was unalived way too soon because of that trouble. And we can't ignore that. So to say that what his father did and his mother, whether she was complicit or did the same too, I don't know. I wasn't in their household, but we can see the results of that family. And just to say that it's okay because he turned out to be a superstar, that's quite selfish.
Thank you, Atlanta. Y'all, it's almost 200 people in here. Can we get to
Using to.
100K?
Oh, sorry.
Can we get to the 100K on the taps, please? What's up, Luther?
Hey, what's up?
Hey.
I see you went on and had that topic, huh, about Joe. You mentioned it and you got it. Great, great topic. I just want to say trauma is trauma. I was hearing you talk about the Williams sisters. Trauma is trauma no matter what. And these sisters do have it. These sisters do have it. Far as Joe is concerned, Joe did what Joe did within the time that he was in. The kids, we see that the kids have trauma, but at what point do you keep on blaming Joe? These are grown kids. It's called taking accountability for their actions. You can only keep beating the horse for so long. Joe did a good job. I did a thesis on Joe. I was on a radio show talking about Joe because I think so many times these men from Joe Jackson to Ike Turner, and it's a couple of other ones too, they get a bad rap and we forget about the contributions. There wouldn't be a Michael Jackson or a Janet Jackson
I
or a
said the
Latoya
same thing.
Jermaine. There wouldn't be none of these kids if it wasn't for Joe Jackson. Am I talking about, am I condoning? No, but I wasn't there. But I mean, hey, he did what he had to do. A lot of times when we're going to these movies, these films are over exaggerated. We're getting just bits and pieces. There's the truth, there's the lie, there's the fifth and the myth and the fairy tale. So Joe did a great thing with these children, and hey, that's it and that's all. I don't have nothing else to say. Thank you
I
for
Hey,
having
said
I,
me.
the same
hey, I
thing.
Can I
want,
speak?
I want to say this: if there was if it was some delusion inside the film, or it was lies, or it was conjecture, Miss Kathy Jackson's still alive and in her right mind. I think she would have said, "Oh no, that's a lie. Oh no, this ain't true." She did none of that. She said it was
She
a
ain't
great
said
movie.
nothing.
Can I say something real quick, please?
Hold on. She hasn't said anything. And you know
None. Of,
what? Somebody just brought up a good point. Kids are gonna feel like, oh, I don't get to play. Oh, daddy's mean. I used to think my mama was mean when she was tearing my ass up. Now I'm grown and I understand it. I
But
understand the ass
we're
whoopings.
dealing with entitlement today. With these
That's
children, we're
very
dealing with
sad.
entitlement, and
What's
it's
sad?
ridiculous. It's
That you think that
ridiculous.
it's okay that your parents should beat you into
She didn't beat
doing
me.
what they
Whoa,
want you to
whoa.
do.
Susu. My mama did not beat me. Don't come up here lying. She whooped my ass. She did not beat me.
So, physical
There's a
harm to you,
difference.
let's put a blanket statement. Physical harm to a child is not okay on any level,
Would you
ever.
rather society whoop your kid's ass or you whoop your
Absolutely.
There
kid's
are
ass?
ways to teach your
Absolutely.
kids without hitting them.
Do you have
We didn't come
kids,
from that
Susu?
I
generation.
do not, but I have a parent that did not, I have two parents that did not have to beat me to be a good kid. I've never been in trouble in my life. My
Okay, if
parents
you
never hit me,
say,
and I
because
was a good kid.
I see where you trying to go with all of this. Can you stop saying beat?
Beat and say discipline.
Say discipline, because I see where you
I'm not
trying
going to
to take
switch the
this.
term because physical harm to a kid is you cannot put your hands on a kid either way. You should not even want to hit your child. Why would that even come across your mind? Yeah, that's my child that I gave birth to. Let me hit them to get them to do what I want them to do.
It's
That's not
called
okay.
Susan, you
saving.
don't
It's
have
No,
called
children,
saving.
so
no.
It's
I don't
They
called
want to
need to know
saving.
hear from you.
It's called
consequences.
saving.
You
This
don't
I
know
think
generation
what
is
it's
called saving.
generational
you
trauma, and
talking
you
about.
guys may have had your
Nobody,
parents
I think
no,
you
pop
have the
you or do
trauma.
all this before,
I
no.
and so
think
you
you
believe it's
have the
okay.
trauma.
Okay, let's
You have
allow
the trauma.
Susu to finish, y'all. Let's allow it, but it's not
Saying no
beating.
way.
But go
I
ahead.
don't have any
It's
trauma.
hard to
My
listen to
parents never hit
bullshit.
me.
You have the trauma, sweetheart. You have the
What
trauma.
trauma? Trauma
You
from
have the
what?
trauma. The trauma.
Trauma
You
from what?
and you're a
It's
different
called
generation. I
consequences
understand
of
Oh my
your
goodness. This
you
actions.
have
generational
different
Okay,
argument
hold
does
generations.
on,
not
y'all. Let her
work.
finish. Go ahead, Susu.
I think I'm striking a nerve for some people,
No,
but
you're not
I hate
striking a
the.
nerve. You're not striking a
Okay.
nerve.
Okay. I hate the generational
You just
argument
sound dumb as
because
fuck.
you
That's what
guys.
you
Low.
Can I talk? Can I talk?
Sorry about that, Susu. Go ahead.
I hate the generational argument because I feel like you guys think that we're more sensitive, but I think we just see what is right and wrong. Me personally, in my opinion, I would never hit my kids. I think there's plenty of other ways to discipline your kids than put your hands on them. In Michael's situation, yes, he wouldn't have been who he was without Joe Jackson, but that also does not only cover just the successful parts that he was. That covers the parts where he wanted to change his nose because he was bullied about it by his own father. That comes to when he is in his 40s and he's still trying to do things as a kid because he never got to do those things when he was a kid. You can't just say Joe turned him into this successful performer and then completely erase the parts of him that were negative that also came from the way that Joe was parenting him. I feel like you guys only look at the side that Joe turned him into a star and made him a successful person and turned him into the Michael Jackson, but you can't just eliminate all of the bad stuff that Joe also influenced Michael to feel about himself and to do when he was older. And someone said something about accountability earlier.
and how people who were in relations with people like Ike Turner, another abuser of women, who they need to take accountability. I don't know what exactly they will be taking accountability for. Could someone, whoever said the accountability thing, could you explain what Michael or Tina Turner would be taking accountability for?
How
Nobody?
old are you? How old are
You
you?
can't compare
I'm
the
How old are
two.
grown.
you?
You can't
How old
compare
are
the
you?
two.
I'm an
Just
adult.
speak to her facts. Why does it matter her age?
I'm
Just
saying
speak to her
just say
arguments.
what they
That
be
that,
taking
that
accountability
yeah,
for.
that makes no sense. That Ike was a batterer. You can't.
Well,
Go
He
now,
beat
ahead,
well,
that
Luther,
now,
woman.
now,
because you said the accountability. So I
I
guess
did,
she's
and I'm here. I'm not going to run from the topic. What you need to watch, you need to watch Ike Turner's Unsung. Ike Turner, he was a victim as well. Okay,
Of what?
we have hurt people love to hurt people. Am I condoning what Ike Turner did? No, I am not. But there are, like I said again, when you're watching a movie, you are being entertained. There's some truth, there's some lies, and there's some myths and fairy tales. We all know that. We all know
That is
that.
very
But to,
true.
but to but to discredit Ike Turner, and once again I'm going right back to it. There would not be a Tina Turner if it was not for Ike Turner. But am I going to condone? No. And was I there? No.
But
So I get.
why?
I
I
think
think in that argument, I don't think Tina needs to be brought up at all.
the
It's on Ike
accountability
Turner.
part came from once you are grown. Now you have to take accountability and do what you got to do to help yourself instead of continuing to blame your parents, continuing to blame your daddy for not being in the household, continuing to blame your
And
daddy
I
for
think they
bullying
did
you.
that.
So
And I think the
that's
kids
where the
did that.
accountability
And
came
I think
from.
the kids did that. I think the kids did that. I think Janet did that. I think a lot of the
I was
kids
explaining
made their
because she was
peace.
asking why were we saying accountability. That's why
Yes.
they were
Yeah,
saying
but
that.
I still don't
Thank
get
you.
what exactly, like for the Ike Turner thing, I don't think that Tina Turner or honestly Michael Jackson should be brought up at all because this argument has nothing to do with Tina Turner or
No, we're
Michael
talking about
Jackson. It's
abuse of
completely,
Can
we're
no,
Susu
we're
talking
land
talking
her
about
about Joe
plane?
Jackson and
no,
It's
we're
Ike
talking
talking
for
Turner
about
15
abuse.
minutes.
We're talking about
because
abuse.
you
The
guys
word is coming
cannot
up
come
in
up with a good
abuse.
enough argument as to why Joe Jackson was a good father and why Ike
Okay, can
Turner,
I
Well,
nobody was
one,
speak?
but
taking
because
away.
No,
he was in the
no.
household. Can we start there, Susu?
Why is that? That is the bare
Susu,
minimum.
you
Every father
asked
should
me
be
a
in the household
question
if
and
they
I'm
have a kid.
I'm sick of y'all asses. I'm sick of it. You ask
I'm
a
just
Absolutely.
saying that
question,
makes no
you ask
sense.
a
It makes
question,
a
you
lot of
somebody
sense.
trying to
No, it
answer it,
doesn't.
you
It
want to
makes a lot of
overtalk
sense.
me. Do you want the question answered or not?
Okay, so you were
For
saying
one,
that because he was in the
let
household.
me talk. Like I sat here and listened to you, shut up. For
Nobody was
one,
letting me talk.
That's because she never got her ass whooped, y'all. She need her ass whooped.
And that is
Wow,
sad that
come
you
on.
think that. That is terrible that you think
okay,
that.
so let me answer the
I don't
question.
care.
One reason why I would give Joe Jackson credit is because he was a father in the household. There is a lot of absent father households now. Do you know that, Susu?
I do, but my father was
I'm
definitely in the
not
household.
talking about your father.
I
I'm
think
not.
that being a
I'm,
father in the household is the bare.
She let me answer you. That is one why I say he was a good father because he was in the household. Two, he had structure in his home. Whether you agree with it or not, he has structure in his home. A lot of households are lacking structure. Okay? I could go on and on and on, but continue. Land your plane so I can go to Donna.
I mean, you can have structure without
I think
violence.
that it is
Oh
He
boy,
very.
booked the
I'm
Yes, I
talking
agree.
show.
to Susu.
I think
He
that is
booked the
very sad
show.
that the standard for being an extraordinary and good father is just being there. I think
We
every
didn't say
father.
extraordinary.
How about
You are
providing for your family? How about
Give
making
him
sure your
credit
family
for
has
booking
food
the
to eat at
how
Yeah,
night?
about
show.
that's a better
How about
argument
making
than
sure
Give
they
just
got
being
clothes
there.
on
credit
their
at
That
back?
should
the
have been.
How about making
rehearsal.
sure they got
Give him
shelter? Huh?
credit.
That
What
is
is
your
that? What
job.
is
You
that?
have to do
No,
that when you
it's
have a
not.
kid. That is your
No,
responsibility
it's
when you have a
not.
kid.
You
How is
Okay,
it
if
if
not?
that's
you
you
part
have
of being
kids,
a
ask
you
a
don't
father,
have
is
to
it
take
not,
care of
Susu?
them.
Is that part of
That
being
makes
a
you a
father or
No.
father,
not?
not a good father. It doesn't make you anything better than any other father because all y'all are supposed to do that
He
when you have a
drove
kid.
them to the shows. He did
To
that.
he
to
Give
went
book
to
him
work
that
shows, take
every
them
credit.
to the
day.
shows.
Like, can we
Go to
give
work
the
every
Give
daddies
day.
a
him
little
that
credit?
credit.
Can we give them a
To,
little?
And then
I said,
after they all got on stage and worked their
Send
butt
them
off
to
and
the
they
send them
sang
in the
and got their
direction of
names
being
out
the
there and he
greatest
Who
of
came
all
home
made
and he
them
time.
grabbed
work
extension
their
That's
cords and
cool.
butt
whipped them
off?
till they bled. Okay.
Who
That's a
made
great
them do
dad.
that? Give him credit. Give him some type of credit. 10% or
I
something.
said that he built Michael into
15.
who he was. He built all of them into great stars. But you guys are only pinpointing that fact and not talking about the stuff that
No,
he
we're
I
also
not.
think
built
that's
them.
a
No, we're
great
not.
father.
No,
If
we're
we
he
not.
have
made them
not
the
None of
greatest
y'all
of all
have
pinpointed one
time, that's a
acknowledged
fact.
the
great
negative
freaking
stuff that he
father.
has done to
We've
those
been
kids. None of y'all.
pinpointing everything. What are you
Hey yo,
talking
I'm tired of
about?
talking to her. Can we go to the next person?
Hey,
You're
We
tired of
are.
talking because you can't go back and forth because
I,
you don't even know what you're talking about. You make
No,
no
Yeah,
you
sense.
don't
they,
even
yeah,
know
What
what
do
they
you're
you mean
talking
we
are.
about.
can't
You need to
go
go
back and
back to
forth with
time
you?
out.
That
Go
sounds
back
so
to time
stupid.
out. That's what you
I,
go
I
to.
have a question.
Hold
As
on.
a
All right.
father,
Real quick, y'all. This is what's so crazy to me. A lot of y'all call getting your ass towed up as abuse. I didn't see it as abuse. I'm not traumatized. I don't need to go see no damn counselor or talk to somebody and lay on their couch. I just don't. I got my
Okay.
but you
ass
wasn't
towed
done how
up,
Michael
and
was
that's
done.
how my mama handled it, okay? Period. She didn't beat me.
For
There's
no
a
reason.
difference.
That's
And she
stupid.
damn sure didn't whoop my ass for no reason. Oh, she had reason. Every time she got me, she definitely had reason. Okay. And then another thing, this gentle parenting bullshit that y'all got going on is
Yes,
why
ma'am.
these kids are out of control now.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Exactly.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
They are
Yes,
out of
ma'am.
control. I just made a video. I seen a lady wrestling a 3-year-old in Dollar General. Are you kidding me? How do you parent that? Where's Susu at? I need her to come up here. If the baby say, I want some gum, and mommy says no, the baby gets pissed off, upset about it. She runs to go get that gum anyway. How do you gentle parent that? I want to know.
Well, don't forget the baby falls out on the floor and starts kicking and screaming.
Acting a fool, acting a straight fool. Now the mama holding her and she trying to get down, and the mama trying to pay for her stuff, and she fighting the mama. How do you gentle parent that type of shit? I said no, and that's what
You
I
don't.
mean.
And it's in the Bible that you don't.
You cannot gentle
And
parent
these
an
people don't got
unruly
guidance,
kid.
like, bro, so they will never understand anything like that.
This fool said it's a baby, pick her up and leave. So what about the stuff? The mama was checking out, so just leave her stuff at Dollar General. Her glasses was falling off. She had her card in her hand trying to pay. The baby kicking and fighting.
And
How do you
everybody's
gentle
watching.
parent that?
Everybody's watching. Everybody's watching.
It was a line of us.
well, so that issue didn't
You know what
start
I'm
in the
saying at the
store.
back of the
The
line? That made it.
parenting
Exactly,
issue with
Atlanta.
that baby did
How
not
do
start
you
in the store.
gentle Atlanta? We know that. How do you gentle parent that?
Well, you're talking
You don't.
about the after effects. Well, what I'm talking about is it never gets to that, and you can get to that point without physically disciplining. There is discipline. The saying that you don't beat your child or hit your child does not mean you don't discipline your child.
What do you do? How do you
Well,
handle that?
you handle it by taking care of your child for your unique child's needs. Maybe your child is suffering from something. I don't know,
Oh
but
Lord, it's
everybody's
always
child
got to
is
be
You
something
different.
don't
wrong.
know. You
It's
don't
always
know.
got to be
So leave
Everybody's
it
something
at
child
wrong
that.
with
is
them.
different.
Well, it's
Leave it
But
definitely
at
you
something
that. You
wrong.
don't
listen,
know.
all these kids that have been beaten
Okay,
and,
Some
Donna.
and,
kids need
and
a couple
whooped,
of
they
pops,
still
something
Hey,
out
let's
there
go
to
doing
over
pop.
to
bad
Donna.
shit.
Let's go to
They
Donna. She
still
ain't
out
had a
We
there
chance
going to
to
doing
Donna.
bad
speak,
shit.
y'all.
All right.
Y'all keep saying that, but these kids don't know better. You are the parents. You know better. These kids need discipline. Otherwise,
That's this
society is
generation.
going to discipline them. And then you're going to be
Somebody
on
So
gonna
you don't know
discipline them.
any other. You, you don't know any other way of disciplining your kids
Okay, so
without hitting them.
Ari, let me ask you. I just told you the scenario in Dollar General. How would you, as a daddy, handle that situation? Your 3-year-old son acting a fool in Dollar General. What do you do when you get to the car?
When I get to the car,
Yeah, you
there's
gotta
nothing I can
finally
do.
get checked out and
No,
get
no,
to the
no,
car.
no,
Yeah.
no, no. There's nothing I can do until we get to that house. Where once we get to that house, it will be handled by him having a situation of separation and let me calm down, let it de-escalate, and then go back in and try to see. Okay, this is what happened. This is what we need to do.
That sounds
First off, as
ridiculous.
parents. No, first off,
We talking about a
no, 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 no,
3-year-old.
no, no. First off, as parents, we cannot do anything when we're angry to a child. Talk, punish, anything. You're
Okay.
angry. You're embarrassed.
Okay. How do you handle that? It's a 3-year-old. Go ahead. I'm listening. I'm learning. I'm here to learn. Go.
But because of that 3 year old's behavior, I could cut back on him doing certain things or having play dates. I could take toys. I could take time that he can't do certain things or visit certain people. There are options
So the
around
3 year
not
old is gonna
hitting him.
remember that we can't go on the play date because I was acting bad in Family Dollar.
Yes, yes, they will.
That's ridiculous, bro. That's
I can
stupid.
make you
I don't
stand.
endorse
I can
no
make you.
dumb
Three
shit.
years old want
That's
what it wants.
discipline.
Now the whole
That's
storyline's
discipline
changed,
when you
baby.
get home.
Hey D, the
What
whole
are you gonna
storyline done
do in
changed
that
now.
moment? What are you gonna do
No,
in
no,
that
no, no, no.
moment? In
D,
that
Nothing
moment,
but
not
that.
when you get
Nothing.
home. In that
Nothing but
moment.
gather.
the whole prompt done
Nothing but
changed.
gather. Nothing but gather my child up because I'm angry and I don't want to do
If you
anything out of
acting a
anger.
fool like that in Dollar General, I'm trying to check out. I said
What are
no.
you gonna do, D?
My glasses are falling off my face. I'm embarrassed as fuck. When we get in that car, them little legs is mine. Them little
But what are you
legs.
gonna do in
Oh
the
yes.
store?
And I'm
What are
going.
you
And
doing
then
in the
when
store?
I'm telling y'all, once I get them out the stove and we get to that car, them little
No,
legs is mine. And then
I'm
I'm going
not
to
waiting
tell
till the
you. And then I'm going to tell you why them little legs was mine because mommy told you no.
I'm
When
gonna get
mommy
them
says
legs right
no,
then, right
you
there.
cannot have it. And
But
guess
let's
Get the
what
let's
little
Wherever
say
you
Johnny
show
gonna
out is
say?
where you get. That's where
Okay.
you get it.
And
but
then when we go
but
into
D,
Dollar General the next day, and Lil Johnny says, "I want gum," and I say no, Lil Johnny gonna say, "Okay." Now
You
we
don't
got
think
a
he'll
better
say?
child.
okay,
You don't
D.
think? You don't think
D
he'll say okay by punishing little Johnny?
A 3-year old. I'm asking you, how do you punish the 3-year-old?
when
I
the
just told you
3-year-old
how.
wants what the 3-year-old
Tell a
wants.
3-year-old they don't get to go on
That's
the
a
play
that's a
dates
fatality.
tomorrow.
Tell
Okay.
a
That's a
three year old that he
fatality.
has to stay in
Whatever
his room.
works. Whatever
Tell a
works for
3 year old he
y'all,
has to
do
stay
it.
in his
Uh,
room.
no, no.
Whatever works for y'all.
Okay,
I'm
what
not
if the
finna play.
3 year old
I'm not
says
about to
no? I'm
let a
not staying in
3-year-old
my
run my
room.
life. Is you cool?
What if
These
the
folks.
3 year old says no? I'm not gonna stay in my room. Then what are you gonna do, Ari? What are you gonna do?
As his father, we go stay in his room together. He can't.
So
We
now
go
you're gonna
sit there
punish
together.
yourself. That's
Now
crazy.
It's
you
my
putting
child.
yourself on
It,
punishment.
it it's
What I
my
don't
child.
understand is why do you all believe that a child that won't listen to you in your words at 3 years old is just automatically because you beat them, that's going to make them listen?
Y'all love saying beat.
B, don't
Okay,
they
Well,
love saying
next.
I
B?
mean,
Let's go.
okay,
Let's
but
go
I'm
to
sorry.
Donna. I'm done with
Physically
y'all. It's
disciplined.
not. I
Let's
have
not
never
say
beat a
beat.
child. I have
Okay,
never beat a
what's the
child.
whatever
So
word you want to
let's.
use?
I think we need to define. I think we need to define
Okay,
discipline
I
first.
got you.
Let's
To
define
me,
Wait,
beating.
a beating is if you leave bruises on this child, whelps on this child, or you make them bleed. To me, that is beating.
Isn't
right.
that called child abuse?
That sounds like
Yep.
child
That too.
abuse to me.
Yes, that's child
I
abuse.
ain't never left no bruises, no whelps, or no damn. Definitely made them bleed ever. I don't beat kids. That's crazy. Now, when
What
you get
what
them legs
what do
toe
you
up,
do?
yes. Oh, absolutely.
Okay,
Maybe
it's
we
my
should
turn
say
now.
spanking. We
It's
should
my
say
turn now.
Exactly.
Can I
Yeah, a
spanking.
speak?
little spanking.
Can I
Is
speak
ass
now?
toe up? Is ass toe up triggering
This
y'all?
is
Okay, I'm gonna say
ridiculous.
spanking.
Discipline. Anyway, back to
Go ahead,
the
Donna.
prompt. Yeah. um. So first, guys, we have to look at something that I don't think anybody really pay attention to. For back in those times, because I came up with the Jacksons, so I'm in the same age with Janet and Randy. Back then the wives were subservient to their
Absolutely.
yes. So
Absolutely.
so when we try to blame Catherine, trust me, Catherine stayed in place because Catherine had to be in place. She's
She didn't
not
want to
going
get beat.
that too. And then not only not yep, that too, because yes, yeah, that too, but because one, when those husbands cheated, when those husbands did anything they did, those wives stayed. If they brought babies outside of the marriage, as a matter of fact, some of them even kept those babies, brought them babies into their houses. So y'all have to look at the times. Another thing is something you can only teach somebody what you know. Joe Jackson had to have
Absolutely.
had abuse in his own life when he grew up. When he grew up as a child, we don't know his situation. I guarantee you,
Absolutely.
100%, that man had trauma growing up. He was beaten, and I'm saying beaten. not trauma, not discipline, but beating the hell out of, because you're only going to teach people what you know. And so for him to come up and do the same thing to his own children, you have to peel back the onion and get to the
But how
core.
do you break the cycle though?
Peel back the layer. Yeah, that's right. You have to peel back the layers, get to the core. The core of the issue is that he had some issues along the way himself, coming up, growing up. The other thing is, we can give him credit. One thing about Joe is he was trying to make a life for his family, get them out the ghetto, get them out of the poverty-stricken areas, whatever the case may be. We have to give credit where credit is due. But what we don't have to condone is the abuse, because what is the sacrifice? If you have to sacrifice your mental, then then the sacrifice wasn't worth it. Yes, Michael became globally known, well known. We all love him to pieces, but he was abused. All of them were abused mentally, physically, and emotionally. And it shows even today. They were abused mentally, physically, and emotionally. Janice has a lot of issues in relationships. She's been on interviews. Reby, who didn't like the spotlight at all, she's made comments. They made indirect comments they did not want. Back then, you couldn't talk against your parents like that because they were taught what to say and what not to say too. So a lot of stuff was X'd out. And now who are the champions in the Jackson's family? Michael and Janet. The rest of them don't have it going on like Michael or Janet. Reby didn't want the life. She had a one-hit wonder, centipede. She didn't want to be in that lifestyle. But was she successful? Of course, I would say she was, because she lived a regular life. But nevertheless, they all had abuse, and it wasn't right. Joe was wrong for it, but he taught from what he knew and from what he grew up in. He was groomed this way. And then he turned around and did it on his own, because my grandmother, I never got one hit from my grandmother. She did not play. She's from the South, dead heart of Mississippi. All she had to do was look at me. So you don't have to be always abusing. We never even heard of no gentle parenting back then. My grandmother looked at you, and she looked her over them glasses, and then she had to come out of that choir stand. It was on and popping. You got your butt toe up, and I'm not talking about beaten to a pulp. You got your butt whooped, and yes, you went and picked your own switch, and she tore you up with your own switch. Yes, and that's just the way it is. And in our culture, Black culture, I don't know about anybody else's, but in ours, back then, you got your butt toe up. And that's what these parents need today. Tear these kids' behinds up. Not abuse them.
Amen.
Not abuse them. We're not talking about abusing. Let's make that distinction. Will you get that belt and you get that butt? Bottom line, get that belt and get that butt. Because if you don't, they're going to get yours. And when those kids start beating the hell out you, then don't start calling the law then, because you turned around, you let them. Just like the 3-year-old. Don't call the police then. Just like this 3-year-old. Wherever you show your butt, that's where you're going to get your butt toe up. I would have wore that little joker out right at that store. I would have got my hand and I would have wore him out. And if I had
Y'all not gonna make
no
no real parents feel bad for tearing the little booty
But
up.
just like she said, you do what you're taught. You do what you're exposed to. And all we're saying is maybe you can be exposed to a different form of parenting, so that maybe you can pass on something other than having to hit your child in order to get them to comply.
Here is the thing. You don't have to pop them all the time, because now they get it. They understand. When I look at you, that means stop.
Exactly.
But speaking to Donna,
you gotta have some kind of control in your household. These kids gonna run over you. The teacher gonna say, I'm about to call your mom. They ain't gonna give a damn. What mama gonna do? She not gonna do nothing.
Speaking to Donna's point about Catherine and those women in those days, Donna is absolutely correct. And also they were told that they were suffering all kind of abuse and they were submissive, just like Donna said. And they were also told, as long as the man is the provider and he's bringing in the money, accept it.
Exactly.
And that's,
Can we
that's
give
really
Joe
good.
credit for being a provider? Can we give him credit for that?
Oh,
Can we give Joe credit for feeding his y'all? That's what a parent is supposed to do. Absolutely, but they not doing it. They not doing it at all.
They're not doing it now, but you know back then, that's what they did. I mean, it was like a given. They took care of their families. That's one thing about them. And back in that time, they took care of them. You didn't hear about these family splits and divorces because,
But
like I was
nobody
saying,
wants to commit. No one wants to
yes,
commit.
they stay in those marriages.
They
They stayed in the trauma. So
yes,
if I'm sitting here today beating the shit out of my wife just because I give her a nice house, you say she should stay? I mean,
no,
we
absolutely not.
we cannot say
we're
in
talking
one
about
breath.
different
We
times, though.
cannot.
We're making a
It's
distinction
not
about the
about
different times.
the time doesn't
Why you not
change the
dressed?
behavior.
No,
Right.
ATL, that's not what we're saying. We're just saying
That's not
back
what we're
then,
saying at all.
that's what
No,
they
but
tolerated back then. But today, I'm
Absolutely.
58 years old, and if a man came in here trying to beat me, he gonna get them grits, and then I call the
exactly
police.
because
So
the
yeah, we're in
behavior
different
was
times. We're speaking
wrong.
of different times now. We're
Right,
just
but
talking about what they did back then.
all I'm trying to make sure we are acknowledging is that the behavior is wrong. The
We've
behavior
acknowledged
is
It's
that.
wrong.
wrong.
We have
No,
acknowledged that several times, Atlanta. We not condoning him just whooping ass for cause somebody miss a step. We not. That's not. We not condoning him saying that boy had a big nose. We not condoning none of that. That was
but
absolutely wrong.
And
What
Michael,
we
let me tell
saying
y'all something.
is,
Michael was
what
the
we
way you
traumatized.
saying
are
is,
condoning it
what?
is by
No,
saying
we're
No,
not.
now let
What we
and
are
one thing,
doing is giving this man some type of credit for being a parent in this household because these daddies is not in these households no more today, and these
We
kids are
need a
out of
James
control.
Evans. We need a James
some
Evans.
kids are
We need
better
a
that
James
they
Evans.
don't have their dad in the house if he's going to beat the shit out of them.
ATL, do you have kids, bro?
We gonna condone
Yes, I
dysfunction.
do.
We
Okay.
gonna condone dysfunction.
I'm sure, bro.
I think that's what they're saying. They rather somebody be in the house, regardless of what he's doing, as long as he's there putting some hot dogs and hamburgers on the table, he can beat the shit out of them. And let's applaud
No,
the fact that he's
Nobody
we
there.
said
saying
that.
that Joe
Nobody
Jackson
said that.
wasn't
Nobody
always
said that.
that
Nobody
bad.
said
He wasn't all. We only know the story of when they was what 10,
because we were not there.
13.
We were not
We
there.
don't know the
Yeah. We
story
were not
of
Okay,
when
there.
they was born, when they
The
was
kids are
15,
telling you
when
the
they was
story.
3,
The kids are
The
4,
telling you
kids
the
are telling you
2.
story.
the story.
Latoya is
The
telling you he
kids are
came in her
telling you.
room and had sex with her. Latoya is telling you that.
Never heard that story.
Well,
Well, that
you
was
must
in
have
her
never
blood.
spoken to
Even
Latoya.
That
You
even
It's
never
in her
heard
even
book.
Latoya
before
speak.
memoir.
Never heard
That
even
was
that
in her
before
story.
memoir.
I've never
MJ,
heard
even
that
before
story.
Michael
That was in
Jackson
her memoir.
unalive,
That
he
was in her
said
It's
he
in
memoir.
her
gave
book.
thanks to his father. Even before he unalive, he said he forgave his father and he understood his discipline. He understood why he did what he did because he is the one of the most talked about person today. One
I
of the
mean,
most
I
The
also
fact
dangerous
that
remember
we forgive
today.
somebody doesn't mean
before
it's okay. I mean, if you everybody wants
before
to
this.
forgive their parent.
I
Well,
mean,
you
before
know
this
what?
movie came out
Hold on. Go ahead,
in the
Art.
previous movie, before this movie came out in previous movies, you had Michael and Jermaine saying, "I wish Barry Gordon was my daddy. I want Barry Gordon to be my daddy, not who I have." They said that.
I'm
Well,
sure
is
your
They
Joe?
were
kids say that
kids.
too, Ari, when you piss them
Well,
off. God damn, why
well,
we acting
is
like we
Joe?
didn't
They were
say
kids, and
stuff?
Well, is Joe?
the crazy part about it is being a disciplined parent is hard. It's hard because you always get looked at as the bad person. I looked at my father as the bad person for years,
I had
and
a good
now
dad.
Are we
now
gonna
I
blame Joe
understand
Jackson
why
for the
he
two
did what he
brothers
did.
having a baby by the same woman? Are we
My
gonna
daddy
blame Joe
didn't tear my
Jackson for
ass
that?
up though. It was my mama that would get me. She would get me.
But are we going to blame Joe
Maybe because I
Jackson
was a
for two
girl. I don't
brothers
know.
having a baby by the same woman? Is that Jackie and Randy? Which one of them two brothers have children by the same
Jermaine, that
woman?
was Jermaine.
Okay, now are we going to blame Joe Jackson for that? Are
They
we going to
did
blame
what?
Joe Jackson for
Look,
So
that?
look.
Jermaine, so the nephew, so
Yeah,
Jermaine is the girlfriend that Jermaine had, well, wife. She has
yes,
two. She has kids by two of the Jackson
yes, by the brothers.
brothers. She has
Yes,
two. Yeah, and Jabbar
yes.
that
Okay,
played.
so why we
And
need to be blaming her 304 ass?
wait, and then Jabbar, the Jabbar that's playing Michael, that's Jermaine's son from the wife.
It's okay.
So
You
they're
understand
related
that?
twice.
That's
They're they're
crazy. So
related
they
twice.
cousins and brothers or whatever.
Yeah, they're related
They used
twice.
to do some wild shit back in the day.
Oh yeah, for
Woo!
sure.
There used to be some shit
Yeah,
going on.
Jermaine got
And
with Randy.
that wasn't even
Jermaine got with Randy's wife.
that
Jermaine got
wasn't
with
back in
Randy.
the
So we
day.
blaming Joe for that?
No,
Well, that wasn't
absolutely
No,
back in
no,
not.
the
we're
day.
not.
That was the
I asked the
80s.
question. I
That was
posed
the
the
Oh,
question.
80s. That was the 80s. That wasn't back in the day. That was the 80s,
well,
90s.
they was doing shit in the 80s.
Well, it don't
Yeah,
matter. But
yeah, it don't
generational
matter.
curses are real. Generational curses are very real. Know it.
Absolutely. Yes, they
Generational
are.
But
curses are
listen,
very real.
somebody gotta break the curse.
Yeah, that
I'm
somebody does have to
so
break the
sick of
curse,
these
but
excuses.
you have to know that you have to break the curse, that because there is a curse, and there a lot of them don't, and that's why they walk right in it instead of walking out of it.
And
Well,
that's
when
what
you
we're
walk in
saying to
it, you
you
be like,
all,
what the hell is
that
this?
you
Let
you
me.
you have a curse of physical discipline, it being the only way. And we're asking you to break that curse, learn a little bit more about parenting in an alternative way that also produces the results that you want,
I
a
said
good
Jafar.
balanced kid. And
So let me say this.
if physical discipline is so good, why do you not do it in public?
Well, you can't do it in
You
public today
can't do
because
it
you
in
get
Why?
locked up
public
for everything.
today.
That's why people don't do it in
Why?
public now.
Because they love their
Absolutely.
kid. They don't want their kid to get
Exactly.
taken from of them. Taken from them.
So you're doing something to your kid that you know will get your kid taken away from you,
Well,
and
I'm
you
just
think
saying,
that's
I
okay?
wouldn't
Hey,
spank
listen,
ass in
I'll
public.
tell you.
It's no, we
Let me
don't
tell you
spank
something.
ass in
Well,
public. It's
yeah,
just some
well,
shit you just don't do in public. Atlanta,
exactly
Right,
come on
Well,
now.
because
well,
dog
every
hold
shit.
on now.
because
God.
everything is
If
Y'all
you,
considered
sound
abuse
listening.
now. Everything is considered
Some
abuse.
the
stuff you
thing
just
about it,
Absolutely.
don't do in public. Like, we gotta
if
Right.
you
stop.
if
That
you
don't even
believe
make
discipline,
sense.
if you believe discipline is the key, get them where they get it.
That's what I
Okay,
do. That's
I
what
see
I
what
did.
y'all
I
trying
did
to
it with
do.
my daughter. She's 20 years old. When she
Y'all
act
That's
a
what
fool
I
in
did.
that Walmart store,
Anyway,
I popped her butt right in that store.
thank y'all panelists for joining. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. Appreciate you guys. Thank you
I
so much.
like Donna. I
No
like Donna.
problem. No problem.
These folks do not listen. Let me say this, y'all. We can agree to disagree. I'm going to have topics that y'all do not agree with me on, and I am okay with that. I promise you, I'm okay. But it seems like a lot of y'all are not okay with y'all grown asses. So y'all don't disagree or agree to disagree with your spouses, your siblings. Not y'all don't even know what that is, because a lot of times people been following me for a while. As soon as I have a topic and they don't agree with that shit, they be done with me. And I think that is absolutely crazy. But the great thing about TikTok is it's millions of people on this app. If you try to get mad at me because I'm saying something that you don't like and you don't want to follow me no more, guess what? I'm going to get 300 followers the next day. So please grow up. Please grow up. Grow up. And if you can't grow up, I don't know what to tell you. I don't. Exactly, Catherine. We too grown for that. We not gonna agree on everything. We just not. But I'm not gonna be done with somebody because I don't agree with them. I think that is some childish bullshit. Yeah, it's a lot of folks give like the lady that called me a bitch. She in here every day. She's one of my good supporters. She's one of my good supporters. But because we didn't agree on this, she got mad and called me a bitch. I think that's crazy. What are we doing? Can we have a conversation? I'm all for conversations. I want to hear what you got to say. And then I want you to hear what I got to say. But it seems like it's only one way. It's one way these days. And that's crazy. Y'all can live like that all y'all want to. Catherine, why did you send that?